User was moved to your channel.
You know what? Forget it.
Sit.
Never mind then.
Yeah, forget it. It's not working. I don't know what you're trying to show me. It's not streaming for you.
Yeah, it's fine.
Goes, I'd like to report I was moved without my consent.
No, he's talking about anti-tree grenades. And I was confused about his anti-tree grenades, and I thought he was committing like a mass genocide against the Ents from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I'm trying to kill these trees, dude.
Mass genocide against the Ents. Sauron has gotten frag grenades. Either way, he tried to show me it, and whatever he was trying to use did not work at all.
Yeah,
So.
our Fire Show wouldn't stream.
No, it's like, no, it didn't stream. It didn't show a stream or anything.
That's fine. It didn't stream. It wouldn't.
I don't know how you were trying to show it to me, but it didn't work.
Oh.
Jumps with him.
You mean Medan Legion is actually just an Alpha Legion regiment?
I'm pretty sure that
Oh,
the
dang it.
God Emperor of Mankind will bless golems by just pushing his comrades in the way of death. They have like one hit point. I need to get rid of these comrades. I try to get rid of these comrades. I don't want them anymore.
Yeah, that's implying by airstrike he doesn't assume the Emperor's endowment is going to be, adjudicating the fires.
Boy. I guess you just, shear off a portion of the hive. We don't need it anymore.
We need a easier way down the Underhive and to make it clear to whatever the fuck's down there we aren't playing games. We playing a game, but we ain't playing no games. Are we still waiting on Jackal?
No,
Yeah.
Jackal said he wouldn't be able to make it. I think.
He's up in Lounge 1. I could bother him.
Wait, do you play more, Hal?
Not much.
No, not much. Well, you still
If
get
he
this.
said he's not
I
going
played
to
like
make
a
it,
little
just don't
bit.
bother him.
You'll
Speaking
still
of-
appreciate the meme.
Speaking of video games, how was everybody's experience with Necromunda so far? I feel it's cool.
I haven't
good.
played it yet.
Oh, I've heard less than nice things.
Okay, one moment.
All right.
Wait,
So,
did they call you Achilles?
oh, of course they did.
Oh, okay, hold on.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, that's just about everybody. And Jackal said he's not coming, so I guess he's not coming. So that makes. All right, good. Yeah, so that's everybody. All right. Let's go ahead and jump on over to our lovely here. All right, gentlemen, who would like to kind of give me a recap of what happened last episode?
Boss fight.
We met my uncle.
We done diddly went we done diddly were continued off where we left it off in the Underhive sewers. We done diddly found a tentacle monster, and we done diddly shot the shit out of it, and we then done diddly killed it, and then we done diddly found a hole underneath it, and then we done diddly went back up, and we done diddly bumped into Achilles. Done diddly.
Flanders, calm the fuck down.
I was waiting for an opportunity to say that.
You done diddling what I'm done diddling?
Flanders.
All right, so yeah, you guys engaged the. Let's go ahead and call it for what it is. We call it the Gatekeeper.
Done diddling.
Yeah, and we and you guys made sure. And you guys made sure to destroy it. And some of you guys got some pretty significant injuries. Some of you almost died. But through some harrowing field first aid, you guys were able to actually destroy the monster, thus opening a chasm, that kind of went down to even the under part of the Underhive, or at least deeper into it, should we say. However, you guys, sensing the urgency of the medical treatment that was needed for the rest of your party, as some of you guys are actually unconscious and teetering on the brink of death, you guys took the elevator up, which is, I don't know if you guys remember this, but it's like a 3-hour long elevator ride to the lower hive.
Yep.
Thus is where we kind of pick up. I'm going to roll the clock back a little bit, just so that the audience can kind of get an idea, and so you guys can have any last minute actions in the elevator shaft before you finally make your way to the semi-surface, which is the lower hive. So, you guys are riding the elevator shaft. Oh, there's McNull. That's who we're missing. That's right. Now I remember.
It's not that big of a loss.
Well, he has a significant part to play this, just like the same as the rest of you.
Was lost.
Why is the rum always
User
gone?
joined your channel.
The elevator ride is somber. Oh wait, I probably should actually do the thing, shouldn't I?
Get the music started.
Have somber music.
In a way. Okay, good. All right. So, You guys are riding the elevator shaft. It's a somber experience, seeing as how most of you guys are not only licking your wounds, but frantically trying to keep yourselves either conscious or are swimming in so many battle stimulants and preventative measures that it will take you guys a decent amount of time to recover from this fight. This is your single greatest victory, and dare I say, one of your most narrowest victories that you guys have ever experienced. And
Wait, the second greatest?
say what?
What was the first? Did you say second greatest? What was the first greatest?
No, I said this is one of okay. This is your greatest victory, and definitely one of your narrowest victories that you've ever had. Did I say second? I don't know. If I said second,
I don't know. I'm partially definitely is. Don't worry about it.
that's fine.
I think he said second closest.
Okay, well, this has been one of your most narrowest victories that you guys have ever experienced. And definitely the greatest of your victories. You have never fought a creature quite so powerful and quite as, should we say, titanic as this has been. But definitely, this has been a harrowing victory for you guys. Is there anything you guys wish to do in the elevator shaft before I continue with the narration?
Execute Spark for cowardice.
How was Gums being a coward? What are we talking about?
To be fair, the Sergeant Major was more of a coward than
Thank you,
Gums.
Jackal, for the
Gums wasn't the one who ran away with a rocket launcher, so.
To be fair, I walked around the corner. It's called cover.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you all the way over there.
Don't you have cameras that can make you cover?
Actually,
I do.
Hold on, I have a good question. My comrades probably don't like me at this point. I don't know how. Can I make up to them in that elevator shaft?
You
Hey,
could try.
About me trying to sacrifice you to Lord of Cthulhu. Things happen. Don't shank me in my sleep.
Insert sound of a bolt pistol racking in the background.
Does a bolt pistol
Gums was
rack?
later shagging to sleep. Wait, shag. Shit. Wrong word.
I'm sure he'll enjoy that.
What? What?
Anyway.
But yeah, I'm spending the elevator trip just trying to lengthen my lifetime, basically.
Okay. Lengthen your lifetime. All right. What do you say and do to try to make up to your comrades who you essentially left to be definitely eternally scarred, immortally scarred for that matter, in the acidic material that was in the rivers that you guys were fighting in between?
The literal anus of this city.
Gon just points at his feet, and the feet that's probably still just burnt up from the acid, and he goes like, "Hey, you see, I got the same problem as you do." And then he kind of snaps finger guns at all three of them. So we're cool, because we all suffered and we're all alive. So my plan partially worked.
While you're saying this, they're all kind of like either have their head cast down or, are staring off to an opposite direction, trying to basically looking away from your direction. I don't remember what the name for them were. Let's take a look here.
Bullet shield number 1, bullet shield number 2, and bullet shield number 3.
Oh my god.
No, you see, at some point I was going
So
to
Tony.
Tony the Tiger.
Yeah, right.
Cursing name them.
They're not good.
So Tony has a kind of like a deep hatred scowl on his face, and he kind of slowly turns towards you, and you see the other side of his face, which is completely burned and scarred in chemical burns from the acidic liquid that he kind of fell into as you can kind of see he's clutching at, at the top of his bicep, which has a strange fold to it, which biceps usually don't have a fold to them.
Hey, at least you can get veteran benefits.
Oh
my god.
He just kind of
That
turns.
is not
he kind of turns away from you.
Gum's gonna wave his hand.
Even I'm not that stupid.
No, not wrong. He could get veteran benefits now. You can just go show up to a local bar and go, "Hey, I'm a combat veteran of the Imperial Guard," and show off all those gnarly scars.
Stop digging, please. Your ditch is deep enough as it is.
I mean, they can't be mad forever.
I need Gums alive, but no one's gonna notice some black eyes and bruises.
Maybe some stitches.
I have lots of stitches.
I'm gonna walk up to his companions and whisper something in their ears, and then look Gums dead in the eye and smile evilly, and walk away.
Oh dear.
Wait, can Gums hear you whispering? It's a small elevator.
Roll a perception check with your heightened senses. With a... say like a -10. It's not hard. You guys are pretty close quarters. It's just the
we are in
noise
an
of the
elevator.
Yeah, the noise of the elevator just gives you -10. So whatever your senses are, with a -10.
Nice.
Yeah, you can hear Grooms. It's not hard.
Alright, then he'll hear me say, a few extra bruises won't be noticed.
What are you talking about? I have bruises. No, wait a minute. What are you planning?
Rattling Gums, I believe the anticipation is that next time there's physical training, you will not be able to use your comrades to do it for you.
I don't use my comrades for physical training. I don't barely get 10 physical training.
Proceeds to pull out his data pad, pull up the old camera feed during the PT session, turn the pad around and show Gums having his comrades carry him through
That's
the
what Lily was
run.
about to mention.
Do I see this?
Oh wait,
Yes.
this was a thing. I just remember this was a thing. Oh no.
Yeah.
It was a thing.
We all remember
Why do you remember this? Oh.
Boop bop. It's my job to remember. And yes, Nicole, if you want to see it, you can see it. He's holding it nice and open.
I'm going to look at it and then look away. Yeah, I'm just going to look at it, look away, and make a mental note. Gums, you're about to get some really good athletics training.
Well, it seems as if my attempts at befriending my comrades again has gone awry. I think that's all right.
There's just some slight issues.
There's some malfunctions. I probably should have done it surrounded by the rest of my squad.
Yeah, that probably wasn't the smartest idea.
I'm gonna
Vulcan.
be
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm just gonna slap my my little thigh of mechanical parts, as all of it is most likely somewhat shorting out, as is a massive, just a bite mark around my waist of just bent power armor.
Yes. Additionally, I will need you to roll a Medicaid check for me. There is no bonuses to this. Okay. For the past hour, John Mason's vital signs, specifically your pulse oximeter, which measures pulmonary and respiratory regulation of the body, has been steadily dropping. He is now at barely 80% blood oxygen level, and his pulse has become quite slow.
ETA, I'm going to check the my location data and see ETA until we reach the top of the elevator shaft.
You have roughly another hour and a half left.
I'm going to begin close monitoring of his systems. Currently low on medical supplies after treating Tiger, I assume.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Assuming I'm kind of low on needles and medical supplies and such after treating Tiger and the rest.
Oh yeah, no, you're very low. Your party looks like the let's see. To give you guys kind of an idea on what you guys look like right now. Who here has seen Band of Brothers?
Me.
Been a while.
I have.
It's been a while, yeah. If anybody remembers the scene before Easy Company goes to occupy Bastogne, the infantry unit that was returning from Bastogne, that's what you guys look like right now.
Oh.
Yay. Damn, I look good.
Yeah. Well, you're unconscious.
I know.
To help, this is the scene where they were counting dog tags, and they asked them to stop as they walked by.
That's Saving Private Ryan.
Is it really? Wow, they're all fucking the same.
Private
Emmy's
Ryan
gonna
was the one
speak
that
up.
had that, and the fucking because they went to the dog tag thing because they were looking for him.
Emmy, go ahead.
Emmy's gonna speak up and ask if there's any assistance, whether it be like helping with closing a wound or like giving blood, because Emmy also has Medicaid experience.
Chief holds up his first aid kit. Here you go. Probably better at it than I am.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen a large number of, based on my background, I've seen a large number of animal wounds and such.
Mm-hmm.
Would I be able to see if this wound is something that can be fixed?
Possibly. It would take you guys to actually begin examining John Mason right now, because as it stands, you're all the things that you've done right now, Vakken, is you basically kind of to put it in a sense of first aid. All you've done is you stopped external hemorrhaging. You stopped external hemorrhaging, and you've kind of tried to splint some of the broken bones. But given the fact that he's pretty much at like minus 16 critical, there are a lot of broken bones, and there is, the creature itself that you guys fought doesn't do a whole lot in the way of like breaking skin and stuff like that, other than from you guys flailing about and getting slammed against sharp rocks and shit like that. It's a lot of blunt force
internal
trauma.
wounds.
Well, blunt force trauma.
Tiger.
With Vakken and Emmy's help, can I use my diagnoster to do an internal scan of him?
So can Vakken.
Try and determine that.
Oh.
Yeah. Between you and Vakken, with Emmy helping you guys, if you want to be the one who examines, sure, I'll give you a plus 30 to that.
That is.
I'll even give you a plus 40. I'll give you a plus 40.
Damn, you should see this man's entire career.
I mean, it's not going to help. I have no checks in Medicaid.
Why didn't you let Vakken do it? He probably has.
Yeah,
I have
I'm
2
gonna
checks
help.
of
No, 'cause
Medicaid.
Vakken didn't speak up.
Yeah, I guess.
Vakken?
You did.
I
that,
was
Emmy.
already aware of the severity of his wounds.
Yeah,
Vakken
Emmy,
doesn't care.
you did
That's
though.
true.
You haven't.
No,
So
you
Vakken,
did that.
you haven't done a whole lot in the way of. Okay,
Directly
so let's put this in terms of well, in this particular sense, you haven't done a whole lot of extended care yet. You basically just did enough to evacuate him off the battlefield, and stop the bleeding, and you've done some cursory and kind of kept an eye on his vitals, but it's now becoming alarming to you that this is not usually the status for a standard human. Well, you are essentially a genius in the way of medical craft. Most of your experience has been with Astartes, who typically always have a low pulse rate until they enter combat, and it's not uncommon for there's no such thing as extended care with an Astartes. It's either the Space Marine is going to live or the Space Marine is going to die. If they can live with an arm cut off for a significant amount of time because their blood clots very easily. They can survive with multiple broken bones because their bones will naturally restitch themselves back together under just a cursory amount of time. Your care with them is usually, oh, I just need to get them to get past this first, so over long until their natural,
body stimulus kicks in.
Yeah, their stimulants and regenerative abilities kick in. With humans, however, retroactively speaking, they're very fragile. Humans, if they don't get care over a period of time, can slip into the realm of death very easily. So, for this task, I will allow Vakin to, since he has the diagnoster as well, I will allow you to roll a Medicaid check with a plus 30, because it's not the same for you as it is for Cal.
Can I cheer them on?
Sure. How would you like to cheer them on, sir?
Make sure everyone else is quiet so that they can focus on their job.
How does that look?
How does
that look for the veteran Sergeant Madmarker?
And tell them that they can do it. I have faith in them.
Imagine
you can do it.
You know what?
Sergeant just pulls a bunch of pumps.
There you go. All right. Vulcan, how inspiring do you think the veteran sergeant's words are for you?
The veteran sergeant was speaking.
Okay.
In the sense of actual character, when it comes to investigating a patient or such, although I am knowledgeable of like combat conditions, it's not like I shut everything off. But in the sense of non-important, non-combat related or orders, everything kind of gets shut off when investigating.
That's fair. So, Vakin, you begin your it's not unfamiliar to you, but it is kind of uncommon for you to do this. But you begin kind of an extended care tasking. First thing you do is you kind of take your combat knife and you literally cut away all of John Mason's armor and clothing that was on his chest.
Oh, whoa.
The first, you say that now. The first thing you see, there is a gigantic bruise that extends from like his lower abdomen all the way up close to his neck. And if any of you are familiar with, technically, Vakin, you are, and Emmy, you are as well, and Calden, this is something you've seen from other humans in the past. This is what a internal hemorrhage looks like. He is bleeding into his own abdomen right now.
Should we like stab him and let the water come, or not water, the blood come out?
Yes, because he's a plant. Just throws him the sunlight.
It's a water balloon.
Shut up.
What do you mean?
This is...
Pumping more liquid into him won't help him, Tiger.
This is a Vakin, how to explain this? This is
I would go with the word bad.
Yeah. This is
horrible.
A catastrophic injury.
Yeah.
Give me a logic check. Just a plus 10 for this. You surmise Vakin, based upon his current pulse and his blood oxygen level, and what you now are being able to evaluate is his blood pressure. He probably has about 30 minutes to survive.
Ooh. ETA on estimation tool, time of arrival to top of shaft.
You have probably about an hour and 15. This all happened under a course of just a few minutes. The rest of you see this. He looks as though his body is just turning into one giant bruise. You can see in his face he is becoming far more pale. His breathing is shallow and raspy, and periodically he coughs and a stream of blood kind of drips down the side of his face.
Do you think it's Emmy's gonna like look at talk him. I don't know how medical stuff goes. Do you think it's possible I could do like a blood transfusion so we could get him out into like an actual hospital until he can live?
I'm gonna put my hand on her shoulder.
I mean, like, Emmy's willing to give her blood.
Well, there's a big fuck off hole inside of him, so it would just go in and go right out.
With our estimated time of arrival and the lack of supplies we have at the current time, I would recommend Sergeant goes ahead and goes through the procedures of a casualty.
So, with that, I'm going to walk up to Exorcist and basically ask, do you want the Emperor's mercy?
It's not Exorcist, it's
wrong
John
person.
Mason.
Mason.
John Mason is very much so unconscious right
Fuck
now.
Exorcist, right? You know, he's going chill.
I'm trying to get Exorcist out too. Don't worry about that.
Pulls him by his hair and makes him nod his head. Like,
Trying to get him out too. Leave me alone. Very much unconscious. Okay, well.
We tried.
That's as a consensus. Everybody vote. Does he die or not?
Could we jump pack him up?
Yeah.
Assuming with the severity of his wounds, the force of the reclusion going up would just only increase the rate of bleed out.
Oh, that's right. I
Vulcan,
have, like,
you know,
ribs.
there is methods to stave off this kind of a wound, but you had to find the wound, and that's going to be the hardest thing for you. And that it requires you to essentially, it's a surgical procedure. It is not, well, if he has, or if he could, open him up safely and find the wound, either if it's an arterial bleed, clamp it, if it's a, this would not be venereal, but if it's a, if it's an aorta, he's dead either way. There's no way you can repair it in time. If it's an arterial bleed, he has a couple more minutes before he dies.
I cast Healing Word.
You were immediately shot
Cure
on the
wounds.
side by the Reclusiarch for magic is heresy.
Damn it!
Wizardorial
As I shoot him, I say, "You idiot! You should have used healing mass word."
Is it possible to use my diagnoster helmet
Yeah, I was about to say.
look to see where the wound is located within his body? Since I'm pretty sure it involves like X-rays and such within that helmet.
Sure, you can do that. I think, is that a Medicaid check or is it a perception?
The diagnoster itself is just a +10 Medicaid check, but that is just considered because it, has X-rays and the readouts and such.
So he's lost, you said, 80% of his blood volume?
No, he is at this point
His
right
blood
now. Hold on, I can give you a roll for that.
Gotcha.
Okay. He is about at like 77% blood oxygen level right now.
Oh, that's about 10% below what he... Okay. Well, he would need a transfusion after we... Yeah.
Yeah. This is...
And he's
so
still offering her beans.
It's up to you guys.
I'm going to if I could just do a Medicaid check, locate where the wound is.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a base Medicaid check with your diagnoster. Yeah, nice rolls tonight.
69.
Alrighty. So you begin to evaluate, and your helmet begins to give you all sorts of readouts. He has about 22 different broken bones. There are some minor abrasions, nothing of great alarm there. His breathing right now is raspy, mainly because he has a partially collapsed lung from a puncture from one of the ribs that broke. But what's worse is that the abdominal aorta has been ruptured and is currently pouring blood basically back into organs that should not have blood running through them, at least on the interiors.
Can we clamp it?
Well,
I don't know if that would kill him or help or not. I don't know anything about medical stuff.
it's okay.
But Emmy does, but...
Do you have any sort of things that you could use to give him the clamps? Does the apothecary have any sort of surgical equipment?
All of my stuff would literally just be based around Narthesium.
Yeah.
That
Again,
is exactly human.
It is all based on Astartes.
Yeah.
And the majority of it is just all drug use based. Injecting drugs, increasing metabolism. Because again, the way Astartes works is majority of the healing is just the Astartes body, and the apothecary is just stimulating the Astartes body.
So
we need a
Vakken,
So I have
as
many
the
dendrites that might be able to help though.
okay, all right. So Vakken, you have about an hour and 15 minutes until you reach the top. You have about a little under 20 minutes before the patient is irreparably gone. The DC will get higher. Or excuse me, not the DC, but the difficulty will significantly increase the longer this takes. I need you to make the decision right here, right now, with your party present and what you guys have. Do you think that you could perform this surgery and save his life?
I mean, we can at least try. It doesn't hurt to try. Regardless, if he dies, he dies, but I want to try before, we don't, I'd rather try than not try.
I will begin if the
Doesn't he
tech
have
priest has tools available. I'll begin the treatment.
Or he's not here, so
with
he
the
can't
support of the tech priest.
All right. Your timer is starting now.
Merely save the life. Yes. Okay. I'm good. We got try to be in treatment.
All right. So the first thing you need to do, you need to open up the patient. This is going to be significantly difficult given the fact that you do not actually have anything to open up the patient with that would be surgically designed. Liebrecht, Vakken, and anybody else who is assisting in this matter, if you think you can assist, you need to tell me right here, right now, how you're assisting and what you have in order to help.
Two things. One, I got a medikit on mine from a field acquisition a while back. That's going over to the apothecary. Two, who's got the Voxcaster?
They're already going to say I was going to rate these.
Alright, well, Weasel is also Jackal.
The best knife.
Was it Frank?
The best surgical instrument I can think of right now would actually be one of our standard combat knives because they're mono-edged. So, much finer. They have a scalpel-like tip to them. So, it would be better than a standard. It would be better than nothing. So, I'm going to take my knife and pass it to Vakken.
Emmy has two. Sorry.
I also have my utility mechadendrite blade, which is a very small blade designed for utility use. So it might be a little bit more.
I'm going to
than a,
work with
combat
the
knife.
tech priest and use tech priest tools,
Okay.
and guide the tech priest to cutting.
Okay. All right. So since it is Liebrecht who is doing this, Liebrecht, I will need you to roll. Let me see here.
Medicaid?
Nope. I will tell you. Well, maybe. Give me a second.
An attack action.
Yeah. I need you to roll a Medicaid check with a +10. You can take orders very well, but this is also working on flesh beings is not something that is in your forte.
I actually do have Medicaid trained though.
I understand you have Medicaid train. I'm telling you what you need to roll. Your Medicaid check with a +10. Okay.
That's 5 degrees success.
You are able to make the incision. It does not significantly hamper the John Mason's attempt to cling at life right now. With your diagnoster, Vulcan, you are able to see where the bleed is. What do you have in order to clamp the bleed? As it looks like basically a pretty significant rupture with bone currently sticking through the abdominal aorta.
So I don't know if it would work, but one part of the narthecium, and narthecium includes sterile clay for sealing wounds.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Being able to get that and then harden that clay.
All right. It is here. Look up what an aorta is. Fucking for me.
Yeah, he's fucked.
Yeah, no, I know
It's a significant artery.
It's
Right up there in the chest.
If that's not feasible, I guess the multi-tool part of the mechanism that's already kind of in there.
Are you going to sit
try and
Are you going to keep your multi-tool in his body
Well,
for another hour and 15 minutes? Hour and 13 minutes?
Well, if it saves his life, then using one of the tools on it to kind of clamp it shut mechanically
is
better than just letting it
sanitized?
bleed.
Yeah, we need to like sterilize
Yes.
everything.
We don't
I have a
have
sensor pad
time
that
for
constantly
sterilizing.
cleans my
Trust
shit.
me.
Okay. Well, yeah, but
Tech
that
priests are
surface
actually
is
very
bad.
good about that. They
Okay.
yeah,
they
they
keep
have
things-
they
This
can't
thing's more
yeah.
sterile than urine sides.
Yeah,
Technically,
they're-
he's making it dirtier by getting his blood on it.
Yeah,
Man.
the incense that tech priests poof out periodically is actually a disinfectant of quite significant degree. So I'm not concerned about that.
Okay.
Though
And then
it's basically it's tantamount of I'm holding down this this what is a very large artery actually, or not even that. It's a very large almost like fire hose from the heart, but with a mechadendrite, and I'm just going to walk around like this. So yeah. Anyway, fucking, you can try. I will tell you, it's like at a -60.
Hence the medikit.
Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot that the medikit can do unless you can tell me that you have something in there that could help clamp a
Band-Aid.
We have basic toolkits. Is there like a hose clamp in there that we could use?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's a big clamp.
Yeah,
Do you want to
it's pretty
use
pretty
a
huge.
tourniquet on the fucking Aurora?
One reason I bring it up is mostly because it adds a +20 to those with Medicaid skill. I'm assuming it's a basic one, which, going off of the diagram, at least in the core rule book, it's got a bunch of bandages, a saw, scissors.
No, none
Vector.
of us have. Wait, does it have a field suture?
Unfortunately, that's a specific that's its own item, so I doubt it.
Yeah.
Are we able to? I don't think so. I was gonna say, could we use like a scrap of like cloth or something to do it? But I don't think so. It's too big.
Can I at least temporarily be effective with using one of the clamp from my mechadendrite to hold it closed mostly?
Well, if nothing else, there's a bunch of we can always cram a bunch of bandages in there.
So, here, let me see if I can describe this for you guys. Essentially, what has happened is that it's not like you can do that, and that will keep blood in his body. However, you're also clamping the blood going from anywhere else in his body. The abdominal aorta is a major artery that is basically controls the blood from essentially from the abdomen down to the legs and anywhere else south of the body, essentially.
An hour without blood could do any kind of damage.
Well, I mean, an hour without blood to those areas. Tourniquets have been kept on bodies for up to 6 hours and with minimalistic complications. The problem is that
internal organs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Internal organs. He's probably never going to have sex ever again.
That's okay.
That's fine.
Was he gonna?
That's a blessing.
Who knows? Who knows?
That's
But
different.
it's a high likelihood that he'll probably never walk again.
I think he was trying to
Give
get
him a
wait,
handful of legs.
anyway.
Wait, I have a preponderance, Achilles.
What's
We
up?
we all have stim shots, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What are the syringes themselves made out of?
I mean, the syringes are essentially an auto ejector.
Well, is it like an all metal one? Does it have is it glass? Is it
Probably it's probably a combination of like hard plastic and metal for the needle itself.
now? Humor me on this. This might sound crazy, but could I dump one of my stim syringes, basically empty it out, not into anyone, just squirt out all the juices, split it in half, put it around the rupture point, and then reseal with my mechadendrite mounted multi-tool.
Are you talking about basically pour hot or cauterize the aorta? Is that what you're trying to do?
So, not necessarily. More or less, I'm going to use I'm basically going to take the syringe, cut it in half once it's empty,
Like a heart stent.
and I'm basically going to put one in on the top half, one in on the other half, and then basically either staple, adhesive, or whatever the two halves together. Basically, trying to use the fact that the syringe itself is designed to keep liquid in to try and put it back together.
That
It
sounds
might not
hard as
100%. It won't exactly 100% stop the issue, but it should hopefully at least lower the free bleeding and allow him to at least take, in more blood without just immediately spurting into his abdomen.
So you're trying to create a bridge out of the syringe between the two broken parts of the aorta?
He's trying to
Make a stent.
Make a stent. He's trying to make a stent.
Depends on how
Theoretically
cut.
feasible. You'll be doing like a Medicaid check at like a fuck high -50. Simply because you're now going to be putting more mechadendrites into his body. That's
still the exact same one.
Is this all from one mechadendrite? Because I'm pretty sure
Yep,
your
the
medical...
utility mechadendrite is what I've been using so far. I don't have the medical one yet.
Okay, so your utility mechadendrite that's currently right now holding back the blood is.
If I have to release the blood, if I have to let the blood free flow again for at least temporarily, then it's better. It's better than that to try and do the stent than just clamp it and watch his internal organs fail.
Would you like me to attempt to put the stent in?
Probably best.
You can try. You'll do it at a -40 though, simply because you're trying to put gigantic hands inside of a very tightly controlled incision.
What if Emmy were to do it? Because she has.
You will be doing it at the same level as Liebert, which will be a -50.
It's best if Bakken doesn't.
Do you care for me to do it, Tech Priest? If you continue to hold it shut and work with me?
Yep.
And that's what the idea of what we'll attempt to do.
Okay. Go ahead and make your rolls. Whoever's doing it.
-40.
You're at a -40, yes.
I'm going to fate reroll.
Okay.
Oh no.
Alright. So right now with the tech priests holding back the blood, you begin to try to get in there, and he lets off the aorta just a little bit, and you can see a big spurt of some of the backed up blood kind of spurt out, and you quickly try to go in and create the stent. and it partially takes before the force of the blood that has been held back by the mechadendrite snaps the, or not snaps, but basically kind of pops the cork, so to speak. And luckily, the stent doesn't go back into the body, and you're able to kind of grab a hold of it, and before it, floats back into the body and creates more damage. Before Liebrecht tries to quickly reclamp the wound. What little blood he has left has enough force, more force than you thought was going to. Human bodies can sometimes not be very agreeable. You're right now at 7 minutes.
Oh, I have plan B. Not a good plan, but it's a plan.
All right, somebody's becoming a servitor.
No, not necessarily that. How fast could my servo skull get to the top of the elevator shaft?
God, how fast does servo skulls move?
They don't have a stat line. I would assume, considering it's a skull with a booster, it's pretty fast. Considering that's not a lot of weight for it, just its little mechanical bits. That skull.
God, I never actually thought of a servo skull moving fast. I would say that he would probably get up there maybe in about 45, 30 minutes.
That's faster than the elevator.
Yeah, but he only has 7 minutes left.
Yeah. Oh shit! I have zip ties. Well,
we're not trying to cut off blood flow.
Tying it will.
Yeah, I know. I just realized that, and I'm an idiot because you actually need a proper. Yeah. Never mind.
Would our basic toolkit include something like duct tape?
You're not duct taping his fucking artery back.
Can't duck it. Fuck it.
Right.
All right. So
very
how
careful.
fast?
Choice of words.
Okay. So Tiger, what's your strength? What's your strength?
I'm sorry. Are you suggesting I?
And just answer the question, please.
Hi.
We don't have time, Tiger. Come on.
If Achilles, if my servo skull sets its boost to as high as it can,
I'd say
without
probably
it
about
fucking
45
exploding,
minutes, which is faster than you guys right now.
what if Tiger then throws the fucker as hard as he can while it's boosting?
Wait,
Look,
what?
we're trying to make this work on.
Would a servo skull survive a slingshot if I burned thrusters all the way up, threw it as hard as I could as soon as I reached its maximum velocity?
4.
I would almost try to have the servo skull roll to make sure it doesn't slam against the fucking elevator shaft.
Well, it goes off of me, so hopefully it passes. I don't know what test that would be.
I want to put this into perspective right now. Liebrecht. Well, okay, so Liebrecht is not throwing it. So yes, if Tiger uses his jetpack, potentially yes, he could do that. He could actually throw it and do that. I would also say that momentum as being a accelerant to the force of whatever Tiger is throwing it at would come into effect, where the servo skull now has to survive the ability of not being smashed against a wall from the sheer fucking force that is coming off of Tiger's throw plus jetpack.
If I throw it straight up.
So what? That means a piloting check?
Have you ever tried to throw something straight up, Tiger?
I know. That's beside the point.
Out of
I
curiosity.
just stated something.
Also, let's keep in mind, right? Nothing in this world moves in a straight line if it is ballistic.
That's fair.
Out of curiosity, yeah, I left a med kit next to them, and the other thing, Achilles, did anyone call back on the Vox about the supplies via servo skull drop?
There's not enough time. It is highly unlikely for them to have surgical supplies
you have
on
4
standby.
minutes.
Yep.
How long would it take for a bag full of surgical tools to drop down an
At
elevator?
this point, there's nothing we can do unless I have some form of stent. To my knowledge, none of you have such supplies on you.
Not unless you can find a way to jury-rig one out of all of our
Wait,
bandages.
didn't I have a scalpel at some point?
I mean, I have a grooming kit.
Shouldn't we have bullet casings
Yes.
from an autogun?
3 minutes. Or 3 minutes, 30 seconds.
Would a bullet casing be too large?
User was moved to
Very.
your channel.
At this point, there's simply nothing we can do.
Damn it.
You have about a possibility.
What's that?
If you have an idea, spit it out.
You could he could re-roll it. You don't
He already
remember. Yeah. No, he re-rolled it with Fade.
You can't fate a fate.
He's talking about our
The mode of possibility.
Oh,
that's what he's talking about.
If you really
There's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
Would you like me to provide the Emperor's mercy, Sergeant?
Have we tried cauterizing it yet?
We're not trying to stop it. We're just trying to put two pieces back together. That's why we need a stent, not something to clamp it shut.
Yeah.
I believe we have come
clamping it
to all
shut.
the
Yeah, clamping it shut, which is what Liebert did, saved you guys about 5 minutes.
We have executed all the options we have to us. I'm not against giving him the mercy.
Well,
Sergeant, this is your call. I am not going to kill one of your men myself, unless you give the permission to do so.
Does anyone have any fuck, English is hard.
Objections.
Unless we want to try and make
What
an
if we-
improvised stint.
What if we clamp it and amputate his limbs?
It's his organs, Sergeant.
Unless
1 minute
we
30.
could try.
Wait. Can we bypass the? So the issue is that there's not going to be enough blood going through. Can we bypass that solution by having someone else's blood pump down the lower half of it and basically clamp the upper so he doesn't bleed everywhere, but then have someone else's blood pumping into the lower?
You have about a minute, 30 seconds to try that.
Can't you force him to a coma? Would that work?
No.
Would that work?
No.
I'm going to
Based
put
on
my
Medicaid.
Carnifex against his temple, Sergeant.
1 minute.
Go ahead.
Would my hypothesis work?
no objection.
That was the Carnifex.
There we go.
He is dead. He is dead. The Carnifex essentially sends a, if I'm not mistaken, is like
It's
the injection
basically
to kill somebody.
It's basically the best way to describe it. It's a metal piston that just instantaneously just cracks everything in the temple.
So
Just instantaneous.
you guys hear as the pneumatic comes from Vaken's Carnifex, and you see as like the last death rattle breath leaves John Mason's lips. Liebert, from the sensors on your megadendrite, you can feel as the last pulse goes through the aorta before it finally stops.
Thank you, Apothecary. And I'm going to walk up to him, grab his dog tags, and then walk back to the other side of the elevator.
Yeah. Prepare the body for a burial or whatever we can do to it.
Soldiers. Oh yes, sir. Well, you all are aware of your duties. Only in death does it end. In this, all of the servants are similar. Cry firm not. There is no better end for guardsmen who have died in battle.
Yeah, well, just wish it was again a little faster than that.
I mean, it's going to.
Apothecary, have you a body bag?
I do not.
Shame.
We all have
Children.
rucksacks and blankets.
I was just gonna say, was gonna stand over his body and say a prayer. It's like a going away thing.
Last rites kind of thing.
Yeah.
I
Any
guess
objection?
Keith.
Go on.
Guess Keith's gonna go through John Mason's bag, empty it out, see if he can help.
I was
All
going
right.
to get to...
Kaladin was doing the same thing.
At least Guns has recommended using them.
Any objection to stripping the body of any unnecessary equipment and folding his arms and then putting it in the corner and just waiting for the lift. While we sort through his equipment and share it throughout the squad so his items are still used.
Already got his armor off, leaving the boots and fatigues on.
I'm just going to remind everyone politely that we're not battle looting.
I know.
I mean, the battle's already over.
No, we're taking his stuff. Either
Boy,
way.
Gums, you're like really pushing people to shoot you.
For you, Mad Marker, and McNull, you do know that he still has, just like every other one of your guardsmen of the squad, he still has his equipment and stuff that is back in his trunk, back in the barracks. And that will need to be dealt with prior to any sort of last rites ceremony. That will need to be done. Between the both of you, you do know that there's going to be some things that need to happen for the passing of a member of the Imperial Guard.
Sergeant, if you'll go through his stuff, I'll write up all of the paperwork.
Very well, yeah. Probably need to return his stuff to the quartermaster, I'm guessing. Or assuming, rather.
When have we truthfully ever returned anything to the quartermaster of a valued comrade?
His arm and his armor. That'll probably be all that'll make it.
Well, we can always pretend that we make the effort. At least we can turn in the las gun.
Yeah, his arm and his armor.
Yeah, we'll give them what they gave him. Everything else, he knows it wants to be used for the squad.
Standard issue kit goes back. Everything that's not in standard sticks with us. Got it.
Yeah. Did he have a data information storage device, like a data slate at all?
Oh yeah, I think we all do.
Yeah, well, then I would recommend somebody download everything that's on there, look through it, wipe what's
Foxcaster, Auspic scanner. Anything else? There's a couple of demo charges in there.
Gotcha. We'll take the explosives.
The last 45 minutes goes by. No one really says a word. And as you guys reach the top of the elevator shaft, the doors slide open with a metal-on-metal screech. And before you, standing there, much like a statue, flanked by 4 kind of ornately armored Depths of Astartes, is the towering figure of the Primarch, who looks down towards you guys. What's happened?
Father, I didn't know you were here.
Indeed. Does anybody care to explain why one of my squads has headed down to the Underhive and the reports of numerous explosions, and now I look before me and I see, and he looks down. You guys can almost figure that, his own armor has essentially surveyed the situation and is reading out data. I have a dead specialist guardsman and another one who is teetering on the brink of death.
Were you not aware of the explosions, my lord?
I was aware of the explosions. I'm talking about after those.
Yes. Well, for the apothecary, you could give the mission report.
I'm gonna
Tiger, you're an asshole.
saying that as I'm like grabbing unconscious Frank, includes Yuck. I have business to attend to. It is your duty to do so.
My
Very
lord.
well.
My Lord Primarch, I believe that we are also due for an explanation, because I was not aware that my soldiers were told to go down there.
Were you easier to find, Sergeant Major, you would have been reddened on the situation. Nonetheless, you hear a muted Vox click. Take the Stormbird. Head back to the surface. We'll debrief on the chapter monastery. I'll send you all back up on the Olympus. Recluse Yark, stay here. Apothecary, you have your own duties.
I'm gonna ask him, Cole. Well, orders, sir.
Back to the bird, patch up.
Understood. And I'll start coordinating with everybody else.
We're heading back up to the monastery, or to the ship.
Head back to the ship.
Make sure you check the last cannon.
I'm gonna make sure we have the graviton gun and the las cannon and all that other cool shit.
He only got a last cannon, and I've already secured. I've already typed it. I secured it.
User in your channel timed out.
Don't worry.
You may head back to the Empress Endowment.
That goes.
Ooh, a lot of people just dropped.
What happened? What?
Oh, give him a second.
Yeah,
Oh,
hold
shit.
on.
Yeah,
like 6 people just left.
Yeah, it's just a. I'm assuming.
User joined your channel.
I'm assuming it was just a quickie outing.
1, 2. There we go.
You're gonna hear muted Vox clicks with my helmet, by the way.
User was moved to your channel.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, the muted Vox clicks was basically him ordering that the Stormbird head back to the Emperor's Endowment. For those of you who disconnected, your orders were to head back to the Emperor's Endowment, and that you'll be debriefed tomorrow on the at the Fortress Monastery, the Star Fort, the Olympus.
Can I make sure we bring the graviton gun and the las cannon and don't forget that shit?
It's only a las cannon.
It's only the graviton gun was the graviton gun was something that I just made a comment about.
Okay.
You guys, Frank didn't actually pick it up. He picked up the last.
Can I make sure that
we
make sure we bring that stuff? That's all.
Yep. Don't worry. I'm tracking. I've already got it. Transport for it. You're fine.
I suppose it's getting Frank to an ICU. So.
Which both the Emperor's Endowment and the Olympus have plenty of.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
You guys have the hypersonic flight back to the Emperor's Endowment, which takes a little under 30 minutes. Stormbirds are super cool. Recluse Yark and Sarge Major, if you wish to be there. Otherwise, you can head back to the Emperor's Endowment as well. You are accompanying the Primarch as he walks back to kind of like the behind lines area. So, are you going to tell me what actually happened? Or are we just going to assume that you guys went on an enthusiastic walk down the Underhive and were attacked?
Well, as our scouting mission was still in effect, we believed to figure out what was happening when the attack never came.
I'll be right back.
Well, we hadn't found any of the hordes that are usually attack these places. We did find a large mutant inside of the Underhive in a large well of some kind with acid draining towards it.
Indeed. And so your first reaction was to attack the mutant outright.
Well, the mutant was either lucky enough or smart enough to cut off our escape route, and The only way out would have been to crawl out along the swim out, basically. And it seems the squad took it upon themselves to fight the mutant.
Truly. Very well. Go accompany your brothers. I'll debrief you guys tomorrow. This is not a good situation that we find ourselves in.
Before I go, Father, it is pertinent that when the mutant had died, it collapsed and a large hole is under it. I do not know what lies below it, but I believe it is important. I say as I leave, unless he, has anything else.
Indeed. It would seem that Hansel Heinz's monster has more tricks up its sleeve, I believe is the human phrase.
Are we planning to go back down there?
I do not think that planning has anything to do with this. I think we have no choice. Nonetheless, go, get yourselves patched up, see to your whatever you need.
Going to bow and leave the room.
Go see if you can help your brother, Reclusiarch.
Does he even go with Falcon or return to line? Out of curiosity.
Falcon.
Okay.
Yeah. The rest of the line. Yeah, the rest of the lines have their own leadership already in place.
Yeah, gotcha.
You do see Marcus Aurelius standing there with his first phalanx as they're disembarking one of the local Stormbirds. So, you all find your way back. Tiger, you shortly after. But you all find your way back to the Ember's Endowment. And it's almost like a giant weight has been taken off your shoulders. And for the first time in nearly 4 weeks, you guys find yourselves not in immediate danger. The hangar bay of the Ember's Endowment is the usual bustle, with more Space Marines filling the area and embarking and disembarking. Some, with the suit-covered armor from the Underhive. Others in, freshly painted, almost new armor, heading down to the planet. A medical team is there to meet you, Vakin, and helps you take Frank back to the Apothecarium or the Medicae, your choice. And others are there to take the body of John Mason, either to the Apothecary or to the Medicae. Again, your choice. And they do not make any attempt to stop you from accompanying them. But you're all left to your own devices. For lack of better terms, you're on leave until tomorrow.
I'm going to return immediately to my room and start filling out the paperwork.
Alright. So, not hard for you to do, especially since Lantern is there to help you with your paperwork, because apparently that's Lantern's job now.
Poor Lantern.
Poor Lantern. Lantern, we love you if you're watching, dude. But you're left with a choice. Tiger, Madmarker, and McNull. You have a choice. Final rights are something that I always give all my players, and I have a couple different options to pose to you. You can do a large ceremony to help ease the passing of a fallen comrade. It can be something small and close, so to speak. So like kind of a small ceremony. It could be one with kind of large, not really pomp and circumstance, but large for others to behold and hold the sacrifice of one guardsman up for many others to draw inspiration from. Or it could be something that's just very much looked over. I have all three kind of prepared for you guys to choose from. If it's like something you guys just want to look over, it could be something as quick as it could be something that is I know, Templar, it's okay. If it's something that you guys just want to look over and just move through as quick as possible, I don't necessarily recommend this one, but if that is what you guys want to do, it would be basically, you know, a really short cremation, and we send this body back to that from which it came, and then just completely move on. The other two would be something a little bit more significant, and I have both those prepared. But I'll leave it up to you three to make that decision. Upon your return, Tiger, you are also basically kind of left to your own devices. The first thing that kind of comes to you guys would be food, probably, because you guys haven't really eaten anything but rations for a while.
Onky.
Yeah, I think a lot of us are heading off to the mess hall.
Okay. It's not hard for word to get around. You guys are kind of like the celebrities of the Imperial Guard, at least for this regiment, or I guess you should say for this crusade, as kind of like the tips of the dagger, so to speak. You guys are, a lot of your stuff is common gossip around for guardsmen. You guys enter the mess hall, and it suddenly gets really quiet. And you kind of see as guardsmen literally just move out of the way. You guys were about to get in line, and they kind of just continue to move out of your way as they kind of like usher you back to the front of the line. The meal for you today almost wasn't really like created specially for you guys, but you are given extra rations. They even offer kind of like cheap grain amasec, which is kind of a rarity around here. And usually only those who are kind of like with the in with the mess crew are ever given that, but they make an exception for you guys. And a table is just immediately parted like the Red Sea, cleared for you to sit down. And as you guys sit down to eat, the chatter returns, but on a much more muted level.
As the table kind of clears out, Keith just kind of gives a brief nod. Thanks, guys.
I'm gonna eat the standard ration, and as soon as I'm done, I'm gonna leave to the bunks without saying a word. You just move on as if nothing happened.
I'm sorry, what was that? I have like 3 different messages from 4 different people.
Hey.
Alarian isn't going to partake in any of the extra rations. He's going to eat the standard, take a shot of grain amasec, and just leave as if nothing happened.
Okay.
I mean, everyone but the command staff, I guess. So Mad Marker, McCall, and Tiger.
So basically, it's Keith, Gums, Alarian, and Liebrecht if he wants to join. Calden could also be there as well, but he's, he tends to move around as he sees fit.
Oh, Emmy, I thought Killjoy said she's hungry.
Yeah, Killjoy, Emmy can also join.
I'm a part.
No, you're a part. I just didn't see you in the listing in
No, I'm also like. No, it's fine. I'm also doing work right now. Wait, did I get me another one? Oh.
Aim and sister.
Look,
Aim
it's
and sister.
Chapel.
Doing a project right now too because it's due at midnight.
You're fine.
I got you.
I did not know it was out of Roll20. I guess it because my internet went out.
It's okay.
It sounds like it's going bad. Yeah.
Just making sure you're included.
Yes.
Is it just me or is Mike also? Is her mic also giving some weird feedback?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Connection.
Hold on.
Oh, she doesn't have any packet off.
User disconnected from your channel.
So,
Breeze your Tiger. Move her back in whenever she gets back on.
It's a breezy then.
So, Calden, what would you like to do?
I'd get some food.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm for the sake of brevity, I'm going to say that all of you guys are there at the same time because you all, disembarked the Stormbird at the same time. There you go. So, Emmy, Cal, Gums, Keith, Alarian.
Yes.
And Liebrecht, I haven't actually heard anything from you. What are you joining them or are you just?
Not to eat. He's gonna be looking over the last cannon before that it was recovered.
Okay.
Just get it up to specs.
Yeah, no. It's in immaculate condition. It's a Mars pattern las cannon, which is somewhat rare in this segmentum, but not unheard of.
What?
Probably the thing that does seem strange about it is that it looks brand new, like it just came off the forge.
Does it have its identifying lec-2s or
yeah.
those been?
It has all of its identifying lec-2s. There seems nothing wrong with it whatsoever, except for the fact that it just looks new, which again is not unheard of, just very uncommon.
Does it have a unit identifier lec-2s anywhere on it to identify who was created for or issued to?
It does not have that. It's the best explanation for it would be it seems to be something that was created but not assigned to anywhere.
So a reserve cache.
Something of that, yeah.
Oh wait.
Beyond that, the rest of you have found yourselves to the mess hall. Alarian has wandered off again, probably back to the barracks or somewhere else with his food. But the rest of you find yourselves at the mess hall. Mad Marker, McNull, and Tiger. Let's say 30 minutes for Tiger. So Mad Marker, McNull, I would say that you guys probably went off to either McNull's office, desk, quarters, whatever, to strategize what next needs to happen. Oh, I should probably also change this too. Boop.
It looks like the current consensus is option 2.
Which is a small gathering. Yeah, so a small gathering then.
I believe so.
Yep.
Okay. Alrighty.
I have a suggestion.
Okay. What is your suggestion?
Emmy is going to take not for the funeral. I was just trying to things along.
You're fine.
Okay, I was just gonna say I was gonna get an extra thing of ration and give it and like go give it to Tiger because he's kind of got the worst of it. He had explained to Dad like, "Sorry, my friend died. It's on my hands." Let me feel bad, and he's gonna go give him some food.
Aaron is going to watch this happen and is going to pout.
Oh
Was
no!
moved to your channel.
Don't do that to me.
You see a kind of upset-looking pyre cat.
And we can pick him up and take him with her.
Carrying a plate of food and doing that will be a little bit more difficult than you think it is. Because
He
he's
can go on
basically...
Emmy's shoulders.
He's the size of a tiger, Killjoy.
He can go on Emmy's shoulders.
She has
He is
power
wearing power
armor.
armor.
She does have power armor.
I'm pretty sure we all know how
The
that's
thing's
gonna
just
go.
gonna go
The
for
question
the
is,
food.
will
I'm
the
just letting
food
you know.
make it? Will it
Yeah.
make it to Tiger?
Yeah.
Yes, Tiger.
Built to pet large kitties. Wow. Okay. Sure. Give me a strength check plus 20.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, Killjoy probably has already, or Emmy has probably already carried the cat multiple times.
Emmy has fully.
Exactly.
Emmy has not while carrying a plate of food. That's really what I'm
Yes.
concerned about here. But she manages to balance the plate of food as well as the quite large jungle cat
Thank
on
you.
her shoulders, wearing it almost
Yes.
like a cloak.
Yes.
The cloak that bites back. Ow.
So, Tiger, as you come off the aircraft or the aerospace craft and find yourself into the main section of the ship, you see the power armor clad Sister of Battle with a very large jungle cat being worn as a cloak approaching you with a plate of food.
I'm gonna look left, I'm gonna look right. Does she look like she's going anywhere else?
No, she you can see she is like a javelin traveling right towards you.
Smiling at you so largely with this plate of food in both of my hands, walking up to you, like
Mind you,
face beaming with a smile, like looking up.
Sisters of Battle are actually usually very young. So she looks. You're not a child. You're your early 20s, which I mean technically is basically how you are now.
I'm 29. Excuse me.
Oh, did you make yourself 29?
20s, yes.
Yes.
Okay, so
I'm still very young in regards to like Sisters of Battle. Like I'm like a baby.
So
to them, but-
let's put it this way: most Sisters of Battle are late teens, early 20s. You are slightly older than that, but incredibly young by Imperial standards.
Incredibly young to Tiger standards.
And so astronomically young by Tiger standards.
Turns out
Seeing as
Tiger's
how
as long ascended away from her.
yeah,
You
so
guys, a jungle cat will attack.
so Tiger, you see this incredibly young woman, beaming with a smile, with a tiger on her back, approaching you. With
sister,
purpose.
So what do I owe the pleasure?
So I was pretty rough back there. You need to eat. And I figured you don't want to go see everyone because that's what just happened to us was kind of rough. So I figured to save you from that turmoil, I bring you food.
Right.
Also, you need to eat and get your energy back up.
Of course. He awkwardly grabs a plate of food and holds it in his hand.
I mean, he's smiling up at him,
So-
he's showing it all.
So, I want to put this in perspective for you guys. Emmy, the plate of food is decent for you. It looks tiny in comparison to Tiger.
I tried, okay?
No. Like I'm not chastising you. I just want you like I'm for both the audience and for the players here. He holds this plate of food, and in his hand it looks like it is a tiny morsel in his hand.
Yes, congratulations, it's a snack. Yes, that's a snack.
Sister.
Give him a snack.
Emmy, I have a question. Did you give him a human-sized fork?
I mean, isn't that what everyone eats?
No.
So
It's like I'm playing tea time with Tiger.
it is exactly that.
Wait, put a little top hat on his head before you can say Wait, no. Put the cat on top of him. Bam.
He will not allow that.
So the cat would not
He'll
even
spill
be
the
able to get
food.
up to Tiger's shoulders. That's the problem. Not only is it going to be very difficult, but there's also he has an assault pack, which is basically a jetpack on his back. So the tiger,
Which is nice and warm for the cat.
So
Tiger will make Tiger fly.
It's gonna be very warm.
That's like warm spots.
Sister, since I see you are so obviously concerned about this, well, when my brothers usually fall, we give them a seal or somewhat, and as we seal them away in either the archives or their burial. Would you like to assist in writing a mock purity seal for the guardsmen? If that will make you feel better.
Do me an honor.
Sure, let's go
Do me a
to
solid. Can you
my
help me with
quarters then.
I'm going to Tiger's room. You hear that, cow? You hear that, cow?
I don't even know if he's there or not. Nobody, we haven't confirmed where Cal is right now.
I'm at the table.
Oh, okay. So
I
yeah,
thought he was
this
hiding
is
in the room already waiting.
yeah, this is a way.
Not
This is
happening
a
already.
way. Yeah, this is a
No,
ways
no,
away.
no. What happens is Kaladin just feels like a strange
A disturbance in the force.
He feels a tingle in
The back
the
of his neck hairs rise.
It's like,
He just feels a disturbance in the force, jumps into a vent, and someone yells, "Cal vented."
God. Tiger, I do not need you talking about my tingle. Thank you.
What about Vodkin? He does your physicals.
No.
Really easy to miss.
This got really weird really quick.
Wow.
I think, okay, move on.
It's only
Let's
weird if
go.
you make it weird.
This went to a dark place.
Yes, anyways.
It is the grim, dark future of the 41st millennium.
So, Cal, you same as everybody else here, given like the extra ration and the little bit of the low quality amasec that's made on the ship. It does the job. The rest of you are kind of left up to your own devices. I guess Tiger and Emmy are heading back to the Reclusium. Which, Emmy, for you, this is somewhat of an honor. Chapter Reclusiums are usually not given access to those that are not of the Space Marine chapter, especially one that has kind of had such a concealed past as those of the Myrmidon Legionnaires and of the Second Legion, especially since the Primarch has come back, long forgotten and lost lore is being, reclaimed and constantly recovered.
Don't go that deep.
Well, I mean,
Won't see any of the relics. It's fine.
the relics are there, but it's a lot of the lost and forgotten lore is really what's kind of being brought back to the surface. So a lot of things during the Great Crusade that were not either struck from Imperial records are now being added back in, and holes are filled in the historical timelines. Nonetheless, it's an honor to be in the presence, basically. So let's head back over to Keith, Gums, and Alarian. Oh wait, Alarian, you're not there. So Keith, Gums, and Calden. You guys are all at the table.
So, and it's still kind of early to discuss this, but who do you think's gonna be sent in as replacement?
Hey, wake up.
Nothing? Seriously?
How would I know the answer to that?
Fair point.
Can you see the future?
No.
Take some spooking, you might.
I don't know. Just trying to think of something else. I guess I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it happens. Get used to it. He ain't the first, and he won't be the last.
True. Not exactly unfamiliar with death. Don't forget, a lot of us are, or at least a lot of the 700th are from Cadia. Still, doesn't mean it has to be pleasant.
Yeah. Ain't nobody said it was pleasant, but it is life.
True.
So what do you think that thing was down there?
Big.
Some kind of anus?
No. Go ahead.
Big, ugly, misunderstood, eager to eat. Hard to say, honestly. It could have been anything.
Hey, wake up.
But setting off for our escape like that, well, signed its own death warrant. Let's not kid ourselves.
Hey, you guys are the ones who attacked it.
Well, I'm pretty sure the main reason. Oh yeah, muscle memory.
Yeah, where I come from, you don't just attack stuff.
Hey, wake up.
You wait, and if it shows aggression to you, then you take care of it. But y'all started shooting way too quickly.
Perhaps. But again, we come from a world that was on the threshold of heresy beyond any normal human being would ever have exposure to. You got a point, but no. No, it makes. Sorry. Well, let's just say it makes my ideas of trying to get better at close combat a little less intelligent.
Just because this one couldn't fight up close doesn't mean the other ones won't.
No, it's not that I can't fight close. It's the sheer size of the thing.
I fought big, I fought small. Doesn't matter. Just changes the plan.
So anyway, after this is done, I mean, we don't got a lot of time. Mind if I do like some intro work for unarmed combat with you, Cal?
Not at all.
All right.
So, as you guys are kind of talking, you begin to notice as other members of the Crusade's Imperial Army, other members of the 700th really, begin to walk up. At first, it's just one of them, and they put out a kind of a emptied, cleaned off plate right in front of, between where you are, Cal, and where Keith is, on the other side of the table. Silently puts the plate there, sets it down, walks off. A couple seconds later, another one comes by, sets down a single fork. Another couple seconds go by, another one comes down, sets down a knife. And this continues to happen until there's a whole place setting for somebody who's not there. One of the kitchen staff walks up and puts down a set of food. Another comes in, fills up the water tin with water. After a few more minutes go by, an officer walks up and puts down a single candle lit. And as you guys kind of conclude your conversation, there's just this empty place setting for one who is not there. Nobody else approaches. Nobody else touches the place setting at all. It is just a simply perfect place setting for an armsman who is not sitting there. Cal, this would be a kind of foreign, I guess, ritual for you. You've served with, being a member of the Inquisition, you have encountered a number of different kinds of rituals across a number of different kinds of worlds. Imperial Guard, PDF, even the occasional Tempestus Scion rituals. This one is not one that you've ever seen before. Not that it's completely alien to you. Like, it's every guard regiment or every army kind of has their own little thing that they do to honor those who are no longer there. But while this is all happening, it's kind of like you're kind of like taken aback a little bit by like what's going on. But you see as Keith and even Gums just kind of allow it to happen.
I'd pick up my stuff and leave the room. I ain't gonna be a part of that.
Okay.
It's foreign to me, man. I don't need to see this. I got my own rituals.
That's fair. Keith and Gums, you guys are kind of left there with the empty place setting.
Gums is gonna try and push his comrades and himself towards the meta.
Medicaid?
Is it called no? Is it? Is it? Medicaid is a person. Hold on, my brain is farting at the moment. Sorry. Medicaid is a person. The actual room is.
Oh, you're talking about the Medicaid chamber or the actual like first aid area, the medical areas.
He's gonna see he could make sure his comrades don't die on him, so they'll be less upset at him and as well as himself because he has like a crit tree.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, they were gonna go to seek medical aid themselves anyway.
Oh well, no,
Yeah.
You see this short ratling that's hurting 3 guardsmen. He's
All
hurt
right.
them.
Hey, come on, let's go.
So
Let's go. Keep going.
the rattling is hurting cats towards Medicaid.
Chief gets up, heads over to the thing, asks for 2 shots of the guardsman special.
Yep.
And after downing the first one, puts the other one next to the plate.
None of the other guardsmen touch it, and as long as you're there, you don't see anybody approach it at all.
And after a quick sign of the Aquila, I guess in a similar way to how a Catholic would do the cross, Keith walks out of the room and off towards where he thinks Kaladin is. That's what I'm training to do.
Okay. Cal, where would you have gone?
At the moment, I'd be heading on the ship. We don't really have a. Do we have like a garden area or like hydroponics or something?
So you're on the Emperor's Endowment. The answer is yes. It is a. It's like the size of a large city in modern day terms, because it's like almost 12 kilometers in length. I think it's more than that actually. Maybe it may actually be more than that. It's not quite as big as the chapter monastery or the fortress monastery, the Star Fort, but it's huge. So yeah, there's multiple garden areas throughout the ship for different for all the different people. But yeah, it's not hard to find one.
All right. Give me just 2 seconds while I double check. What's the name?
That's
of
fine.
the planet?
You guys come up with that, and I'm gonna go ahead and pick up with somebody else. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's go to Vakken and our injured Frank. Vakken, did you accompany them back to the apothecary or to the apothecarium or to the Medicae?
I would have dropped him within the Medicae.
Okay, so you take him to the Medicae, and they begin kind of treating Frank. They hook him up to fluids and stuff like that, and this is kind of a couple hours worth of progress. But did you want to assist them in any sort of way?
I would watch to make sure nothing's going wrong, and to make sure he's not going to fall into any form of critical condition.
Gotcha.
But as soon as I was sure that wasn't going to happen, I would have left.
So the docs of the Medicae are incredibly skilled, but to kind of give everybody else here a little bit of context, apothecaries are like genius savants of the medical trade. While they're mostly familiar with doing stuff, while they're mostly familiar with Astartes biology, it's not that far of a stretch for them to do stuff for human biology. But the doctors here are pretty adept in their own craft. It would seem that the Primarch did not skimp on any sort of expenses for his glorious crusade, if he could help it. And after a few more hours, Frank, you will eventually come to consciousness. And so we'll sync up all the timelines here in just a minute. But for the time being, Frank, you come to consciousness. The apothecary is no longer there, but you're awakened in a new area, surrounded by stainless steel in white. You are in the familiar area of the Medicae chamber of the Emperor's Endowment.
How much do I hurt right now?
Let's see. Let's take a look at Frank. Shit. I picked up a thing. There we go. Where is the... There it is. Oh. Damn. Okay. You'd be in some pain, but you're under painkillers right now, so it's all kind of numbed. If you move too much, you would kind of be like you would get sharp, stinging sensations of pain. But thanks to advanced painkiller drugs and pretty skilled hands stitching you back together, it's manageable.
Do the painkillers make me high?
Probably.
Please say yes.
Yeah. Yeah, narcotics are, I mean, technically stims are narcotics too, so yeah, narcotics are handed out like candy in the 41st millennia, 42nd millennia.
I'm gonna
And they
start
said-
whistling. Just a tune to myself. How would it go? Let's see.
You see one of the nurses walk by and notice that you're awake, and she goes, "Oh, well, that's lovely. You're awake, doctor." And let me see if I have GM notes. Boom. Nope, not that one. GM characters. That's the one I'm looking for.
Doctor, doctor, give me the news. I've got one big case of internal bleeding.
Yeah. So the ship's doctor, the ship's head doctor, Leah McDowtry, walks up and goes, "Oh, so you're back in my care again. Lovely. Oh, Mr. Frank, how are you today?"
I got squished by a tentacle.
"So I've heard. There was quite a few broken bones there. You managed to make it out, though. Your friend, not so much."
What?
"Oh, did you not hear?" "Yes.
No, I was unconscious.
Oh, well, that's true." She kind of takes out her data slate. A Mr. John Mason. He unfortunately died trying to get to us.
Oh no. Anyway.
She kind of like looks into a little bit of shock. Are you? I can't tell if you're too high to care or if you just lack all basic human emotion.
I got squished by a tentacle. He probably got squished by one too. People die all the time in service of the Emperor, and he's finally been freed from his duties. I never got why this was such a, what do you call it? Why people get sad about this. This should be celebrated. This is joyous. This is this is some good shit, G.
Oh God.
Okay. Well, perhaps I'm just not accustomed to such cold
Jesus, I could
stoicism.
hear his laughter.
But yeah, nurse, we may want to dial back on the narcotics a little bit. Thank you.
No.
Okay. Well, as long as you don't move around too much, you can probably be out of here by tonight. Most of it's just.
On a walk?
I would recommend taking it a little easy for the next couple of days while.
A slow walk, like a strut.
Oh jeez.
Just don't tear the stitches.
Okay. So I have a medical license to strut on the ship.
Oh jeez.
We may want to switch the meds completely.
What? No. I'm okay. I'm okay.
We'll look into other painkillers for you. Better painkillers. Better painkillers. Yes.
But
And
it
she
feels
kind of
like you picked the right stuff.
and she just like kind of really uncomfortably walks away.
That was the ugliest dude I've ever seen.
You see Steve walk in and kind of like slap the back of your head.
Oh! Didn't you get squished by the tentacle too?
He looks at you sternly.
Oh my gosh, we need to go back to the buffer. Oh, stop it!
Anyway, I guess that catches up Frank. Vakken, you kind of monitor the surgery for Frank, and it looks like mostly just broken bones. There was some slight hemorrhaging, but that was cauterized pretty quickly by the skillful multiple surgeons that were working on him. But you're left to your own devices if you want to do anything else.
I would talk to my apothecaries on board the vessel and mainly get in contact with the Olympus to see how the progress goes on the task I left them.
So without you being there, it was still difficult work. They have some preliminary data, but not really anything more helpful than what you already kind of gathered yourself. With that being said, if you want to review the data, they can transmit it to your data site.
Yeah, I'll have them do so.
Okay. Yeah, I can give you that information over text. Nothing that would really play, that would make anything more... Not anything that would make it more urgent than what you already have.
Have they found anything, because I remember one thing that have they found anything that reacts with the substance?
Anything that reacts to the substance?
Yeah. Just testing various chemicals we have and just...
It is slightly
It
is slightly flammable, but it requires way more heat than what would allow for safe operation in the area. So, like you could do a firebomb, but then the amount of heat that would take to actually ignite it would be more harmful than good.
Yeah.
It seems to react psychically to the presence of like psychers and stuff like that, just by the fact that they're literally just shotgunning everything that they could think of. But the psychic might that is required to actually be of use would require like an alpha level psyker, which there is none in the fleet because all of you, including the Primarch, despise psychers.
Fuck psychers.
Yeah. Beyond that, it behaves a lot like a organism itself.
Yeah. So nothing that we found that causes, cellular deconstruction, etc.
If left alone, it's fairly inert. It behaves much like a liquid until it's acted on upon something.
Okay. I'm gonna just leave them to further their task of researching more into it and finding anything. And it's of the utmost importance we get some form of genophage that reacts with this.
Okay. Alrighty. Taking us back to McNull and Madmarker. So, you guys begin doing the paperwork for a KIA. Again, it's not hard for the paperwork part of it, but there are a couple of tasks that need to be set in course. You guys have decided upon a particular course of action. But there is the question of what to do with the guardsman's equipment and his personal effects.
So, Matt Marker, believe you want to take care of returning the stuff that must be returned, the las gun and the power pack?
Yes, I can handle returning stuff. That's not an issue.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and grab his personal effects locker and sort through that. Make sure that the rat doesn't get to it first, though.
all of this stuff is happening at the same time. So you guys are very easily able to get to the personal effects locker. Other than some basic civilian clothes, and a couple of like just your his basic knickknacks and things like that he's collected over the years, you find a data slate. A red light illuminates, or a red light blinks on it, with a note attached to it. And I mean, this is not the first time you've dealt with this, McNull. You could tell this is kind of like a guardsman's last will and testament.
So I'm going to open the data slate and read through it.
You see. Let me grab this message. I'm going to send it to you over Discord. Is there anything else you wish to do?
I'm going to look for pictures through his personal effects.
You see, let me see here. Wait, where the fuck did all my stuff go? Son of a bitch.
That sounds good.
No. I had to refresh my page, and it
lost everything.
No.
Nice.
It put me back as a player, and I just had to switch over. It's okay. I just had to rejoin as a GM. Away.
I'm also going to ask, hey, Mad Marker, make sure you give me the paperwork, not to the S1 first, for his KIA report.
Yep.
Don't you already have the paperwork? Weren't we just doing that?
You know how they want duplicates and triplicates
Oh,
of
right,
everything.
right, yeah.
Just make sure you give me all of it, and I'll file it all away at the same time.
Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, so you see a picture of a slightly younger John Mason, a even slightly younger female of brown hair.
I have the description on my bio, by the way.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yep. Green eyes. Kind of a lithe build for a female. And of another man who is with jet black hair and brown eyes. Kind of an olive complexion.
With this, Mad Marker, I'm going to take these back to my office and finish up the paperwork. Why don't you go ahead and bring that back to the armory, and then we'll meet up for the small service we have planned for him.
Okay. Do we know what time we're planning on that for? Since we probably need everyone.
We'll call it. Go ahead and let everyone have dinner, and we'll call it before the evening prayer.
Okay. I'll gather up the stuff and take it to the quartermaster then.
Okay. The quartermaster. Yeah, I mean it's not hard. You're part of the people that control that, McNull.
Sweet.
But you can't take his pay. I'm sorry.
That actually wasn't the plan. That actually was not the
I'm going to
plan.
steal your money.
I'm sorry. The E4 Mafia has already claimed his funds.
Amen, brother.
But no, seriously. The let me see. Yeah, the quartermaster, having already heard about what's going on, you know, doesn't even really give Mad Marker. He doesn't really give you that much of any trouble at all. He takes the weapon, takes the las pack, and locks up his effects into another locker. It says, or another locker. He says, Sergeant, is that all?
Yes.
All right. Emperor's light be with you. It's a mighty big shame when you lose one of your own.
Thank you, but we all know it happens.
No, of course. I just know you're really close with your squad. Just offer my condolences. That's all, Sergeant.
Thank you. Have a good day. And
You
I'll
too,
just
Sergeant.
loop that out.
All right. So, Keith, Mad Marker, McNull, Tiger, Liebert. Is there anything else that you want to do? I already tracking that you wanted to get a mechadendrite swap. So are you switching your utility to a medical or
I'm gonna switch up ballistic to a medical.
the ballistic one?
Yeah, I don't use it anyway.
So you're talking about the one that's auto linked to your Heinsense?
The little mechadendrite that has a compact las pistol in it.
Gotcha. Okay. Easy enough. That's not a hard thing at all. I'm not even gonna make you roll for that. But you can swap it out to a medical mechadendrite. So just go ahead and annotate that on your character sheet.
Already doing it now.
All right. Tech priests handle death very differently than the rest of the Imperium. And so, in a stark contrast to a lot of the guardsmen who, knowing the squad, knowing how tight knit it was, and knowing how much you guys have basically just been through together, and kind of offer their own support to you in their own guardsman way. The Mechanicus completely ignored that fact altogether and don't even talk about it. And besides some of the less augmented tech priests, like some of the lower adepts who have not completely undergone some a lot of the more cybernetic implementation, or are as some of the Mechanicus refer to it as artificial evolution. Some of them comment like, I heard you lost a squad member, and just with a very curt blurt of technolingua, you're just like, yep, yes, I did, and just continue moving on with the situation. So there's not a whole lot there to work with, other than just going to some of the higher up tech adepts. I wish to replace this mechadendrite with one that is of more utility to me. Okay, that's fine. We can do that. And they go about switching out the mechadendrite. Thus ending your escapade as, oh, I have a las pistol. Nope, never mind. I now have a medical mechadendrite. saga. Sorry, I find the Mechanicus very interesting in that kind of sense, where death is doesn't really affect any of them all that much, if at all. Losing 100 tech priests or losing 100 Skitari in a fight, when you only have 1,000, is treated the same as, oh, I lost 900 Skitari in a fight when I only have 1,000. The only difference is that your higher up Magos will be like, how could you have carelessly misspent these resources? This will take years for us to replace. You suck at your job. Now time to get demoted. I hope you enjoy being a fucking Skitari now. Or whatever. And that's literally how the Adeptus Mechanicus handles loss. It's all a numbers game to them. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody who knows the Mechanicus lore better than I do, but I'm pretty sure, if I remember some of my Mechanicus books pretty well, that's literally how they treat loss. So, picking up with Alarian, who I started off with, Alarian, you walked off.
Sorry.
Yeah, you walked off.
I did. I walked off to my bunks, and he died. That's how I feel on the matter. I've seen 1,000 deaths, and I'll see 1,000 more. So.
Okay. As you finish up your meal, you see as Sergeant Major and your veteran sergeant walk in. Open up the trunk. Excuse me. Open up the trunk where John Mason used to sleep, and kind of go through some of the effects. Pick up a data slate. You see, as McNull reads it, slips it into one of his pockets, and he and Mad Marker take the trunk to the quartermaster.
Yeah, I know what's happening, so I'm just going to continue about my business, which would most likely be reading and scrolling through all the reports from the front, so I have an idea of what to expect next time we go down.
Cool. It seems that this situation, not the death in your guys' squad, but the situation down in the Underhive is being taken up with even more of attention as more Adeptus Astartes are sent to the front line, and a few more of the battle companies and battalions are deployed to the front of this mutant threat. Beyond that, it doesn't really seem too much of the situation has changed, other than an escalation of force from the Imperial side.
Gotcha.
Whatever you guys have done has either disrupted the actions of the mutants, or has caused them to do something more covertly. You're not too sure yet.
We did a thing. Nice.
Yeah. So, if they come back to the bunks at all, they're just going to find me there on my data slate, continually reading the reports and the news feeds and all that, as well as daily planetary news, see if anything catches my eyes from that. But that's just what I'll be doing when they walk in.
Gotcha. Alrighty. So Keith Garrett, I think you're the next one to actually come into the barracks, right?
Assuming that he couldn't find.
That's
Paladin,
right. That's right. Yeah. Cal, do you frequent the gardens all that much?
I would be going to the quartermaster first.
Oh, okay. Well, then you would probably run into McNull and Mad Marker as they're turning in John Mason's effects.
Is his bayonet part of those effects?
Probably, yeah. Of his standard gear.
Yeah, I would request that.
It's up to McNull and Mad Marker.
His bayonet.
That is correct.
Why do you need my guardsman's bayonet?
It is ceremony.
I'll leave the decision up to his direct sergeant.
I don't have a problem with it. You'll just have to explain it to the quartermaster if he asks why the bayonet's missing, and I'll hand it to the interrogator.
I'm gonna tip my hat to the quartermaster because that's all I gotta say to him.
Far be it for me to get involved with a inquisitor.
Then I would take the bayonet, and I'd even invite them to join if they'd like.
I'm going to follow Kaladin because I'm curious as to what he's doing.
I have something else I must attend to, and I'm going to head back to my room.
All right. Let's see. So that makes Kaladin, and so okay. So Keith Garrett is still wandering around for Kaladin. Keith, to find Cal, I mean, you can either contact him on your Vox. That's still a thing. If you're not contacting him, I guess that would be, I don't want to say it's like a perception. I guess awareness, maybe?
There's also, navigate surface would require he even knows where he is. So,
well, I mean, you guys have been on this ship before. It's not you won't get just lost on the ship. Well, you can, but of course, you guys have been here for a few years, so I'm not gonna make you roll for that. To catch up to Kaladin, though, I would say like maybe navigate surface plus 15.
all right, give it a shot. Here's hoping it works. Hey.
Sure. Yeah, you're wandering around puts you at chance with running into him, and you see him as he kind of leaves the quartermaster area. With Mad Marker in tow.
Hey, Cal, what's going on?
Are you talking about me or
Cal?
Oh, Cal.
Oh, I heard kill, and I was like, what?
Sorry.
Doing a ceremony for our departed.
And thus Keith joins the group.
Okay. So now there are 3. And Varian is there. Killjoy. Yep. All right, cool. Yeah, so let's go to Killjoy and Tiger. Killjoy, Tiger. You guys reach the quarters of the Reclusiarch. What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna get out some parchment, a little bit of wax, and go on the table, hold a pen in my hand, and, well, sister, where would you like to start?
Am I actually gonna have to like?
Oh no.
This is a role-playing game, Killjoy.
Well, we probably start off with a prayer. And Emmy's gonna say, like, a prayer. And then say, about how John Mason was a good comrade in battle. And that's a question. And then,
yes, I should probably be writing this in High Gothic rather than Hellenic. 1 second, let me start over.
I know High Gothic, so...
Yeah, I know, but you don't know Hellenic.
Do you think the Guardsmen would appreciate it in Low Gothic, or the High Gothic is the standard?
It's standard.
Okay.
He was a good fighter, and I guess an overall good comrade, even though I didn't know him that well.
I'll not add in that part.
Sure. And He died a soldier.
Very
And
valiant death.
we should end it off with a prayer of protection. Yeah.
Right. I see you have much experience in writing funeral rites for the fallen.
I'm gonna be honest with you, sir. This is my first funeral.
First funeral in general.
You need to show off.
Where the hell
Yes, sir.
That is interesting.
My first death.
I've not yet met one who has not seen the death in the 41st millennium.
Ta-da!
She's
I was
just
supposed to
that
snowflake.
good.
Improbable.
She just closes her eyes except for this one's.
Do you mean someone close to you, or you have seen people die other than the enemy, yes? People on your side of the combat?
Not someone that I personally went into battle with. I've seen older soldiers die, but not someone I've been
You saw
Affiliated.
Mephisto.
Huh?
You saw Mephisto die.
Vista. Who the fuck was that?
Pete's character.
Did I?
Yeah.
She genuinely
Well,
closes
she doesn't
her eyes.
remember it.
Yeah, I was like,
She just
doesn't care.
closes her eyes.
Jesus.
Someone
closes her
someone
eyes.
message him and tell him that she doesn't care about his death.
It's okay. Nobody does. Nobody batted an eyelash for that passing.
It hurt her so much.
Isn't that the centaur motherfucking thing?
Yeah, that was the psyker who turned centaur because he decided to try to make a deal with the demon and corrupted himself so badly that he basically grew 4 legs made of hands.
I don't think that
Oh,
counts.
yeah.
It did say on her side, right? You remember that?
He was on their side. He was on their side, but he was just.
Whole
This
maybe
is so
came general
traumatic, and
previous.
He was a broken individual.
Forgot it.
Well then, sister, I envy you. It seems about right. I did take the liberty of sprucing it up a little bit to make it sound a bit more homely.
Thank you. How do these things usually go?
I do not know what rights the guardsmen do, but take this parchment. I ask the regimental sergeant major if he wishes to put his insignia in the wax and to put it on his grave or coffin or whatever they use. I'm not quite sure it's certain.
Can you read to me how you spruced it up?
Why don't you read it aloud when you get to the funeral? I'm sure they would love that. Gives her the thing in her hand, slightly pushes her out.
Does she speak? Is she literate in High Gothic?
She is.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd been funny.
And
She
he
just got
is
there.
going to hand back the parchment. I do not have the right or the place to give such a strong eulogy. I believe it is up to you, as our head of pack, to give out these meaningful words. And then he's gonna shove it back a little bit, give a big smile. Have a nice
Big
night,
smile.
sir.
Sister.
And it walks out.
I'm gonna stop her, sister.
No! Go away!
Sister, I implore you to give it to the sergeant major or the sergeant. Let me be clear. I am not the chaplain of this squad. Just give it to them. I do not perform their ceremonies. I am not
You're the chaplain of the
their
Crusade.
priest. I am not the guardsman's priest.
Neither is she.
Yeah, it's not my job to do it.
to the sergeant.
I mean, she's gonna look at it. Sir, I feel like that's something you should do.
Back and forth.
Maximilius.
Hit the stick. Just bribe her with pictures of the Emperor.
I'll call him Maximilius.
Like, I will promise you a special dinner with my dad.
So Sorry, what was that?
He'll get you a special
I'm
meeting
calling
with his
Maximilius.
grandfather.
He's gonna
Yes,
like
my lord. How may I help you?
split out your dad for.
The Sister of Battle wanted to have my aid in writing this for the guardsman that died today. Go give it to his sergeant. Tell him it was from both me and the sister.
Of course, my
Why
lord.
can't you
It
do
will
it
be done.
yourself, you lazy fuck?
Sister,
I'm gonna
You're
with
go
all
ahead
due,
so
and write.
lazy.
with all due respect, the Reclusiarch does not need to talk to humans if he does not wish.
Okay, the Lord does not need to speak with the peasants.
I would assume that it is an honor to talk to a honorable Reclusiarch, even being a sister of battle.
I'm not there anymore.
Oh, she
Just
left.
walks off.
She left. I'm not used to sisters of battle being so stealthy.
What? Really? Stealth is like really good.
Is it?
She sounds so surprised.
Should roll stealth to see if you're leaving.
Actually, no, I lied. It's not. I don't have any
Never
checks in it.
It will be done,
My
my lord.
acrobatics is the best I have, though.
She just cartwheels out of the way.
Nope.
Yeah,
Just
I
cartwheels away.
cartwheels out, and you guys don't hear me. So there you go.
So after a couple more minutes, McNull, you hear a loud at your door.
Yes, enter.
The similarly clad familiar sight of Maximilius, the fuck, what was it? The chapter serf, I guess it's Legion serf now, to Ecclesiarch, stands before you.
How can I help a serf of the Adeptus Astartes?
My Lord Reclusiarch Tiger wishes me to hand you this seal for the honorable fallen guardsman today. And he presents you with the seal. Written in High Gothic, it's basically a detailing of the deeds and protection to the guardsmen.
So I'm going to act incredibly surprised at this. Why, thank you.
Are you actually
Because
surprised?
you read High Gothic.
You and me both know how rare it is for an Astartes to give a purity seal to a guardsman.
Oh,
yeah.
Don't worry. The wax on the top does not have the seal of the Astartes on it. It's blank for you to put in if you want your own seal of your office.
It's still rare for this to even happen. Usually they just go up, more cannon for the fodder.
Out of character, I was pressured into it.
In character,
You're not
too.
supposed to tell them that.
So I'm going to take the seal, give my thanks to the chaplain.
Was
and
there
Go
was
ahead.
some discussion as to who would be performing the ceremony, whether that be the Reclusiarch himself, which he doesn't feel holistically comfortable to it, due to the fact of it's kind of an interesting thing for a Astartes to.
I understand what you're trying to say.
Achilles, I hope you know you went through like 4 different accents in that. Like
I know. I'm still working on my Mediterranean accent. I'm sorry. I've actually.
I'm just letting you know you went to like a little Slavic there. You went to a little French there. Like you went through a little everything.
I know. And to the audience, I'm sorry about that. I'm still trying. Oh my God, White Baron, fuck you.
Wait, what Baron said?
What did White Baron say?
He goes Vobist. So I've been using. I've been using a Warhammer Fantasy RP to work on my Mediterranean accent. Since I need to expand that repertoire just a little bit more to give you guys a little bit more selection. And unfortunately, a little more immersion, a little bit more to play with in terms of NPCs, since you guys encounter so many of them.
That sounds like a bad thing.
Yeah,
harass
no,
you with
it's
more
okay.
NPCs.
Not as much as Gums'
I want to.
companions.
You know what? You know what, Achilles? For this, I want to speak to every chapter serf on the entire ship, and I want their names.
They, so they just all look at you. They don't actually talk to you. They just look at you.
I pull their names from their
Anyway.
mandated lectus.
Anyway.
So yeah, so I've been practicing. I've been trying to practice a little bit Mediterranean. So I apologize if it slips into other accents. Just bear with me. I'm trying. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. I'm sorry.
And I'm trying hard enough.
Posh British can only get me so far. Okay.
It worked. It worked for 40K for the longest time.
Yeah, in the grim darkness of the far future, everybody's British.
Everyone's British or Cockney. There's no in between.
Anyway.
Yeah. Sorry.
You know what? Just for that, White Baron, I got you.
Now he's paying for your tax. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, just to be sure, we just wanted to make sure that if it was the Reclusiac, that he had proper time to prepare the ritual.
No, the Reclusiarch has already done enough by even handing this seal to us. However, if you happen to come across the Sister of Battle, I believe he'd much rather have a beautiful sister giving this ceremony than some raggedy old man.
I mean, to be honest, is he wrong?
No, it's the fact that my brain paused after you said something.
There is also the militant apostolic that has joined the Crusade, somewhat at the behest of Rupert de Gilliman. But it is your choice, Sergeant Major.
If you happen to come across her in your travels on your way back, just inform her we'd like her to give it. If not, I'm sure our regimental funnel boys, yeah, we'll be more than happy to.
Very well, Sergeant Major. I will pass on the condolences to the Reclusiac. So, he bows respectfully and then exits your office, heading back down to the Reclusiarch, to which he then gives the Reclusiarch the update. You're in the clear, Reclusiarch.
So, after he leaves, I'm going to look over at Lantern. Hey, Lantern, I believe you've made an error on this paperwork. It says KIA here, but I believe he transferred to the Planetary Defense Force, don't you? With full pay? Yes? Excellent. And this pay goes to wherever he was depositing it to still, correct? Should take him how many years to get this? I'll be dead by then anyway.
You see as he just kind of like pinches the bridge of his nose.
Make sure you file it through in this updated manner, and make sure that money gets where it's supposed to go. I have a ceremony to get ready for.
He just sighs. He just gives you a sigh and then just continues to write.
This is why I can't have nice things.
You could swear that you hear him say, "And I stopped being of RTO for this."
To which I'm going to chuckle.
So yeah, that's done. He makes sure that the proper documents are completed. And the pay is sent where it needs to go. So where are you going next?
I'm going to get the ceremony ready.
Alrighty. Gums. Your comrades are now undergoing their care properly. Are you gonna stay in the Medicaid chamber?
Yeah, Gums wants his hand and his feet back.
On multiple
Maybe not.
occasions, you hear as nurses tell you, "This is an area for sick people. Please move along." But nobody actually forces you to get out of there.
But I'm also hurt.
But I'm also here.
Wait, is Frank in this one too?
Frank is in this one too. You see as
Look,
the
there's a bit of my skin peeling off. My toenails just about nearly falling down. See? Look at it. Look at it, woman. It's nearly falling down.
Yikes.
Oh yes, I do see. I'm so sorry, sir. And she very aggressively takes your foot, lifts it up, begins to kind of peel away some of the dead skin. She's being very indelicate with this procedure. At the mention of take a look at this woman.
Just can't win.
Well, he's also.
He does this to
Gums
himself.
isn't the winner. Mostly it's his fault.
Yeah. And so you're not handled nicely.
Well, we can just get Gums just giving this rat-like screech in pain as the nurse peels his dead skin off.
Orderlies,
hopefully-
please help. And two burly gentlemen take their
Oh,
hands
God.
and hold you down.
Hold
Yeah,
it down. Just imagine one of them just Gums is upside down, one who's pinning it with a boot on his chin or something. Christ. It's burly dudes.
And you
So,
hear
I
as one of the
question-
orderlies. Hold on. You hear as one of the orderlies go, "Shouldn't we medicate him?" And she goes, "No, we're concerned about allergic reactions today."
Oh,
So,
crap.
so in other words,
you can't have
Gums'
nice
wounds
things,
got
Scott.
worse?
In other words, if you keep spitting on the people that make your food, they're gonna spit back.
Wait. In other words, Gums' wounds got worse.
No,
Oh,
no, no,
God.
no, no. You could have been given a local anesthetic or just an overall anesthetic to numb the pain and all that kind of stuff. And basically, what they just said in medical speak is, shouldn't he have some sort of anesthetic? No. We're concerned about allergic reactions, which basically means no.
So, oh my
Fuck you.
God. So Gums, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're just writhing in pain as she's doing this.
Question.
Yeah. What's up?
What is Gum's range from Frank?
Oh, come on.
Probably about less than 10 feet away.
Okay, what do I need to
Silly.
roll to throw my pillow in his face?
I hope you hit the burly guys. I swear to God.
Roll me a weapon skill check. No modifiers.
Oh.
So from across the room.
I don't like these noises.
You rolled a 5. Just no.
Got him 5.
Wait,
So-
can I narrate this one?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. You're across the room from
You
him.
should have got.
So I
him
sit
minus,
up after
'cause it's
hearing
two
a
big
very
guys.
familiar,
no.
freakishly high-pitched scream, and I see these two burly guys holding this ratling up as I don't even know what's going on, something with his foot. I don't care. But an idea, a devilish, sadistic idea comes to my head. It's 3 simple words. Fixing the Steve. Now, I cannot, of course, get up because I am in a little bit of pain, so I try to sit up, but I cannot. But I must fix the Steve. So I grab my pillow, I take aim, and I toss it, and I somehow put enough good force by it to give a little bit of a thud to it. Nothing that would hurt, but enough to get Gums' attention. So while he was held down, being restrained, and whatever sort of ghastly procedure was done to him was being done, he would then look to see Frank grinning, ear to ear, sitting up, mouthing the words, fixing the Steve. That's all I got.
So what's the equivalent of the finger in 400 millennium?
You can't
probably
be
the
held
finger.
down with your arm pinned or something.
He does have a point. You are pinned. Would you like?
You are pinned.
I can't
Yeah.
move my hands.
No,
you
well, I
like
mean,
to,
you could
you
could
bring
kind
that?
of. You can move your no. You could move his hands. Does Frank see the middle finger? Who knows? Frank's high as a kite.
Frank does not see. He just keeps saying, "Fixing the Steve." Fixing the Steve.
So Gums has a concussion. He's getting held on, and his foot is being peeled off.
Why is your foot getting peeled off again?
He stepped in the acid.
I stepped in
Don't
the
kink
acid.
shame him.
I'm in like minus. What? Shut up. Who was
So
that?
they begin to yeah, King Shane.
Shut up.
Um,
Yes.
they begin to kind of bandage up your foot now. The worst part of it's over. It still hurts like a bitch though. And
Why
they
don't you
basically
just amputate?
I mean, they could. That is an option.
We do that.
Do I get increased still for having my foot bandaged to
Nah.
muffle the noise?
Because your foot also fucking hurts every time you step on it.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh yeah. It was
So
worth asking.
they leave you in the bed. Your foot now bandaged and treated. There's some, they basically put some of the some accelerant healant on your feet to hopefully that the skin will heal back over. But for now you're left in your bed, and you look over
Yeah,
to see
Gums
your
is bedridden.
yeah you look over to see your comrades as they smile at your pain and agony. They're also a little bit high.
Gums also gives them the finger.
Just give everyone the finger.
At this point,
All right, so that is Gums, Frank, Keith, Mad Marker, Alarian, Killjoy. Okay, yeah, that's everybody caught up. So, unless you guys have anything else that you wish to do before you lay your heads down to sleep for the night.
I believe that's when we were holding the funeral, was before the final call.
Yeah, no, we're just gonna go to our break and then we're gonna go to
Just have a fucking explosion in the background?
what?
What?
Huh?
I
guess that was on my side. It sounded like someone just fucking exploded outside.
Oh. Nice.
Oh.
I hear gunshots.
So this is why we told you not to eat anything you pick up.
All right. Well,
Oh my god! Shut up, Jackal.
So
It just sounded like it was on his end. I'm sorry.
So here starts the war by Killjoy.
Did you assume it was on his end because of where he's from?
No, it just sounded like it was on TeamSpeak, but it wasn't, I guess.
I mean, I am in New Jersey. Who knows what Camden's doing this time of year?
Oh,
That's true. So.
Aren't we going to the garden?
Oh, that's right.
Sorry. I was
Keith.
talking the whole time, and NVIDIA RTX fucking crashed.
Yeah. So Keith and Mad Marker, you guys are led towards one of the many gardens that makes up some of the internal portions of the ship. A artificial sun illuminates this area with a nice warm yellow glow, and it's kind of like a little oasis in the ship. This particular one is pretty much mostly empty. There's a couple of attendants that go about their duties, and a couple of servitors that are watering some of the nearby plants. But you guys are mostly left to your own devices. What would you like to do?
Quick question. How long have I been here on this ship?
I would say probably about 3 years compared to the 6 that the rest of the guardsmen have been here.
Okay. So they've been here longer than I have?
Oh yeah. They were picked up. They were picked up from Earth. You were picked up once you came here to Orbita to join.
Gotcha. Okay, so
Don't you mean Terra?
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find a nice little spot that isn't got anything in it.
Okay.
I'm going to dig a small hole.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull a seed out of my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna place it in the hole.
Okay.
I am going to take the bayonet I am going to recite just a small thingamajig. 1 minute. Here we go. Do not fear death, for it's only the beginning of the next journey. I'm then going to cut a small cut into my hands.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to drip the blood over the seed. I'm going to then cover the seed. From the earth we will grow, from the ashes we will rise. And I'm going to then stick the knife directly down into the dirt.
Yep.
And then your fight is over. And the seed that I put in is a plant from fire, or pyre, excuse me.
Yep.
It's going to sprout up almost instantaneously, wrap itself around the blade, and it's going to produce this big, this like bright red, orchid-looking thing,
Mm-hmm.
using the blade as the stem.
How long does that take?
Minute.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, it's quick to get to there, but that's as big as it gets.
That's fine. So you guys see about the size of the bayonet itself, which, I mean, it's not super large, but also not small for a blade. But you guys will see a bright, beautiful crimson, about the same color as the Crusade crimson, kind of a orchid-looking plant, and it sprouts up in less than a minute.
Wow. I'd say more there, Cal, but well, ain't really seen anything like that before. Thank you.
So all of you kind of have your own little rituals and stuff, but you all receive kind of a ping or a message over the Vox of where to meet at what time, as the last of your events for tonight. However, we'll pick that up after our break, so everyone be back at 7:51. 7:51. And that's where we'll pick up.
Got it.
Right. Every day.
Fortunately, we're going to call it here.
Oh.
Yeah, I had to leave around 8.
So just to
And we're back. So, we pick up with all of you guys receiving the ping to one of the smaller chapels of the Fortress Monastery, the Olympus. And as you guys make your way to, even if you guys are in the infirmary, you guys are kind of given modes of transportation to make your way there safely. Frank, Steve begrudgingly helps make your way to the hangar.
No, he doesn't, but thanks for offering.
Instead, one of the super hot nurses help you get there.
Now we're talking.
There you go. All right.
His name is Carl. Hey, didn't say female. He assuming the nurse is a woman is.
No, he did say super hot. If his name's Carl, even better.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He's a Vostroyan. He's a Vostroyan bodybuilder.
Ooh, he won best mustache on the endowment.
Oh yeah. It is like the most glorious handlebar that you have ever seen.
Now I'm jealous. Why are you giving him all the good characters?
Like his abs look like you can just basically like grind meat in them.
Achilles, stop!
My
Anyway,
new companion.
If he was just a little bit taller, you could have sworn he was a custodian with how ripped and oiled he was.
Achilles, there's a derogatory
Puts my
term.
bulging ooseps to shame.
There's a derogatory term that's usually referred to as a blank dumpster. We would refer to the male version of this to be a blank gutter.
Oh, fuck.
And just think about what the abs look like, and that sums it all up.
Pretty much. Anyway, so you're escorted by one of the super hot nurses that you're actually kind of sad could not accompany you as the as your new companion into the field. But
Quick, Jackal, make him your character.
What about my day?
but he is here to help you until you fully recover.
That's pro as hell.
Make him your character.
No, Mad Marker, we're just getting back and we're getting ready to head off to the I guess the funeral? Yeah, let's just call it a funeral. That's okay. But yeah, so you guys are all provided with a shuttle to the Fortress Monastery. And it's enough to seat the entire squad. Gums, you are escorted by one of the not so attractive nurses who pushes you in a wheelchair.
A little midget wheelchair.
No, the wheelchair is a regular size. You're just super smug.
Even better.
It's a midget in.
No, it is in fact a midget wheelchair.
No, because it's way more fun. It's way more fun to have him in like the wheelchair is 3 times the size of him.
Is he restrained?
He's not restrained.
Anybody knows Pat from School Best Friends? Nobody? Alright.
No, sorry.
That's a dead reference.
Don't mind me.
Anyway.
I'm just laughing of shenanigans.
Anyway, so after a few minutes, all of you guys are there, and a shuttle pilot is there, holding up a sign saying, attendees to the, to John Mason's funeral. And all of you get on board, but the pilot doesn't take off yet.
Okay, what's going on here, pilot?
Wait, remember to talk to the Primarch before we left this time?
We needed to talk to him?
After a few minutes, or after as you guys say that, you hear the somewhat heavy thuds of the footfalls. For those of you who are augmented, the unmistakable sound of power armor falling onto the ground. or to the sound of.
Achilles tripped.
No, sorry, I can't. I don't know why I'm having
I
trouble
wish I could see
describing.
that.
Damn, it just keeps getting harder and harder at this funeral.
Trips.
So he he trips, right? But he does the Willy Wonka trip, flip, and like immediately pop back up as though it's completely intentional.
And
Just
he
kidding.
bust a move.
Yeah. Just kidding. No, you hear the footfalls of power armor on the ground, and you see as the Primarch kind of stoops his way to get on board the shuttle. Tell me about what? And you hear the muted vox click as the pilot nods and begins to take off the shuttle.
He's just gonna slowly pull out his oh so useful little toy. And then he's going to go into his senses, and he's going to, on his data slate again, pull up the video of them fighting the fucking giant monstrosity, turn it around and show it to the Primarch.
So that's what it looked like.
I would like to classify it as Tentaclus Maximus.
I don't care.
Understood. We'll document it as such.
Tiger, you really...
Classified as your mother.
Tiger, your...
My mother does not have
talent for understatement never ceases to amaze me.
Wink wonk.
Wink wonk, oh well.
It doesn't really take any time at all for you guys to make it to the Fortress Monastery before these aerospace craft sets back down in another hangar. The doors open, and you guys are allowed off. The Primarch steps off first. Well, are you all coming?
Is there power feed stopping him?
Gums attempts to push his wheels on his wheelchair.
I'm not. I'm staying in the bird.
What? You're staying
He
in
said
the
he's
bird?
staying in the bird.
I'm staying in the bird. Cal's staying in the bird.
Bird. Bird is the word.
Well, if you wish, you can. That's fine. So I guess everybody else gets off?
Yes.
Okay.
I've already had my ceremony. It's kind of like a hat on a hat.
Well, I wear hats on all the time.
Yeah, but that's because you're told to.
I wear hats on hats.
Why you make stacks on stacks on stacks?
There you go.
I'm here digging trenches.
I hate you so much. Vakken, it was a monster.
I heard it, you know.
Yeah.
I got you, brother. I know that sound anywhere.
Yep. It's the only way that I'm able to keep everything focused.
What kind?
Yeah. Anyway, so Frank with his ultra super hot nurse, we're just going to continue to elevate his hotness. Helps you off the aerospace craft and helps you walk towards the chapel. Gums, your not so hot nurse, is very, again, indelicate with you and rolls you off. Make sure that you bump a couple of times as you land safely onto the ground of the hangar, and on your overly sized wheelchair. The rest of you make your way there in your own particular fashion. The Primarch, without really even saying a word, is kind of like leading the procession. Partially through the fact that he was the first one off the aircraft, partially for the fact that his gate is about 3 times the size of any one of yours. twice the gate of any of the Astartes. And partially because nobody had the authority to tell him that of where you guys are going, and he just assumed that he automatically knew.
I mean, to assume he's not correct would be heresy.
True.
He is a freaking Primarch.
Except he hates that word.
Sorry. Not cool.
But
Not coolio, bro.
You guys eventually reach one of the chapels that a pair of honor guard Astartes are standing out in front of, and clear the way and open the doors for all of you to enter. In there are a number of Ministorum priests and about 2 pair of very ornately clad Astartes in their battle plate, but a little bit more ornate than some of the other line level Astartes that you guys have encountered thus far. Recluse Yark, you recognize these as chaplains and kind of like almost like chamber militant to the Reclusium. They stand off to the sides, not speaking or not even on the Vox. And seats have been set aside for you guys towards the front, all the way up to the dais of the cathedral, or chapel, should I say. By the way, it's enormous for a chapel. Of course, everything on the Fortress Monastery is enormous in comparison to size. You see inside of a kind of a how to say this? I don't want to say like it's plexiglass, but basically bullet resistant glass kind of a deal, is the body of John Mason. And you see as the Primarch turns towards all of you as you guys kind of make your way in here. Did anybody have an idea on who was going to lead the ceremony?
I believe it was the Sister of the Battle.
I'm out of commission, sorry.
You're out of commission. Nope, you're doing this.
No, I'm not. I can't.
Don't make the goddamn tech priest do it.
I mean, he's scared of public speaking.
Very well.
Bruh.
Tiger wants to do it, though. I never heard him say anything he wanted to.
Tiger immediately voices his discontent. Like, nope.
He starts vibrating.
Very well. I guess then I will do it, since
I'm sorry.
Since none of you have the ability to speak up for yourselves in this manner.
I mean, I have a litany for the fallen.
Yes, I know you do, Apothecary. And Vakin, I'm so proud that you do them. We will allow you a chance to speak when the time is ready. Please, take your seats.
Oh.
He walks up to the dais, and a nearby podium looks kind of minuscule in comparison to his size. I didn't really have anything planned for this, but I guess I should be the one who leads the procession, since the choice to send one to one's death, or send a soldier to his death, rests solely with me, regardless of the choices that take place afterwards. Each and every one of you, and for that matter, every member of this crusade, their lives are in my hands. And while at many times it seems that I carelessly or without a thought will cast any of your lives to oblivion for the sake of the greater mission, each and every death weighs on me in its own way. Familiarity and I guess you can call it closeness, of course, make this a little bit more difficult. But know this, regardless of who it is or who they are, I do not spend lives the same way as some of my brothers have. Each life is carefully weighed against a number of factors. But let us gain some illumination as to the nature of what this spent life means. Service to the Emperor and service to the Imperium is the greatest and purest of all expenditure of life that any one of us should hope to achieve. Old age, while it has its own sort of glory to it, pales in comparison to the service to the greater Imperium. For service to the greater Imperium and to the Emperor himself is in itself a service to something far, far greater than any one of us individually could be. For you serve humanity, your species. And for every expenditure of life, that means humanity itself lives that much longer. He takes a moment and pauses. And John Mason here probably understood that. And though I'm sure he did not want to lose his life, I do know that in his eyes, this loss of his life would be the best that he could ask for. I'm sure all of you have some words that you wish to say for him, so I won't bore all of you with my rhetoric and allow each one of you to come up here in your own stride. He steps off to the side and takes a step back and motions towards whoever wishes to speak first.
Well, I guess Keith heads up first. On getting up to the floor, he looks around. I think we can all agree that we don't really know each other all that well. Life in the Guards kind of round out a lot of desire for relationships, camaraderie, that kind of thing. No matter what the propaganda mills say, am I right? But if there's one thing I've learned from through growing up on Cadia, and of course, just on this crusade, I suppose it's not so much learning as it is relearning. The man's gone, you can't replace him. For that, what it's worth, I am genuinely sorry to see. That's all I got.
The Primarch nods. Anyone else?
I'm going to stand up and move towards the front. The regimental sergeant major wanted me to present this. I'm going to hold up the seal that Tiger and Emmy made. look at it, realize that it's written in High Gothic, have no idea what it means, and I'll just put it on the casket.
Fine, Emmy will read it.
And then pull out another piece of paper saying that the RSM did provide something for me to read in his absence. The Emperor is the light against which no darkness can stand. Faith, fury, and fire shall deliver the warrior against the Xeno, the heretic, and the demon. John Mason was an exemplary imperial soldier. He fought valiantly until the end. Even in the face of death and insurmountable odds, he held steadfast and stood the line. Look forward and carry his legacy forward. For the Imperial Guard, for the Imperium of man. With the arms and armaments he had in life, may they shield him in his death. May the light guide his soul. May he find his way beside our Emperor and find peace in death, to the glory of those who have fallen. Ave Imperator, to serve is the greatest honor of all.
Ave Imperator.
Ave Imperator.
Dude.
Anyone else? Sorry, that's a little bit loud. There you go.
Did Amy want to read what was on the scroll?
You already read it, actually.
Oh, okay. So he
Was
translated
that it?
it.
Oh, he translated
Yeah,
it.
Whoops.
Works great.
Here. This is the other thing. The letter or the data slate that he found, or that the RSM found in the trunk, would he have given that to you as well, Mad Marker?
I don't know.
I'm going to go ahead and say yes. By the way, the change of song that you guys heard, it sounds like it's coming from all around the chapel itself. I will tell you that you guys notice that it's actually coming from the Astartes off to the sides.
Damn, they could sing.
Yeah, well,
That's what I was thinking too. It's like, damn.
they're superhuman, so yeah.
Yes. Not only are they good
Tiger,
at that, but damn, they got some lungs.
Tiger and Vakken.
They got 4 lungs to belt it out with.
Tiger and Vakken, you understand it as it's in Hellenigan. Which is actually why I chose it, by the way.
This year's like.
This is my favorite song.
I think I actually know these. I've heard them before.
So, Mad Marker, you can choose to read this at the end of the ceremony or now if you want. It's up to you.
I'll go ahead and read it now, since it seems like we're probably coming close to the end.
Okay. So, all of you see as Mad Marker takes out a data slate. Another data slate, should I say.
The RSM and myself found this among his things. And it reads, if you are reading this, it means I am gone. It may have been a Xeno, a soldier, a friend, or a foe, or whatever it may have been. I hope that you all have avenged me. I wanted to thank you all for your service, both to the Imperium as well as to myself. You all are not just my allies, but my family. I have given my life to the Emperor of mankind, my body to the Imperium, my soul to the cosmos. Please remember me as I was, a brother. Please take care of my sister, Katrina Quill. She is the only regret I have in this world. Be safe, John Mason.
That's depressing.
Well, yeah, another name to look for then.
Props to whoever wrote that down.
Moving on. Is there anyone else?
I can go.
Is it possible for me to go, Trevor?
Please.
I'll walk up with the.
Shut up! It's a funeral.
That's how that's how power armor sounds.
This is a funeral. You're being disrespectful.
If he was being disrespectful, he wouldn't be dead.
Shut up! You're dead.
I'm not dead.
Not you.
Not you, the dead man.
Who's dead?
Sean Mason.
You're out of here while even though he's dead.
Oh my god.
This is another baseball moment.
He just pops up out of the casket. Weekend at Bernie's.
Wait, who's
like,
dead?
hey guys.
I guess. Alright, continue, sorry.
Dude's gonna tap the mic.
God damn it.
And before he breaks the mic, just tapping on it.
Actually, gonna fucking stop.
Can someone do, the annoying ringing out the mic's making, eee?
No.
If you
No,
do,
but we
let us
understand
a
where you're
warning so I
going
can
with
take off
there.
my headset.
And the look upon the crowd of seemingly guardsmen and maybe my fellow brothers.
Literally just like 6
Meet the eyes. Yeah. Meet the eyes of
Not a crowd.
people. For those here who do not know our societies, we do not go without fear, as many of you believe. The difference is we just understand that death is merely a part of our duty. This difference can be shown in the way we remember our fallen. We do not remember them for their loss does not matter. Their death is not what we shall remember them by, but we shall remember them by their actions. I have not known this guardsman who we honor long, nor will I lie to say that I understood him. Even now I question his actions and his mind for the short time we have been together. Though my knowledge of him believes for it is permissible enough for him to partake in his death in the litany which I have said for thousands, if not millions of my brothers before. Every footprint you have left, whether washed away or left still, whether deep or shallow, whether in honor or doubt, it shall be remembered. Every shell fired, whether in offense or defense, whether on target or not, whether fired first or last, it shall be remembered. Every resounding roar, whether out of pain or pride, whether for victory or defeat, whether responded to in kind or left to echo, it shall be remembered. Each moment of glory, each moment of enlightenment, each moment of honor, each moment of endurance, each moment of skill shall be remembered. With that, I'm going to step down and go sit back down.
Hawken, is your roommate home?
Yeah.
Dude, he's like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Like, oh my god.
That's
who am I
literally the
rooming
face you give it.
Aww.
Nothing, Brandon, nothing. Don't worry
Yeah,
about
Brandon, mind your own fucking business. We're in a fucking
That's
funeral
what
right now.
Jesus.
We're dealing in a funeral. He needs to not be rude.
God. Such a piece of shit, Brandon.
God damn it, Brandon. Mind your own fucking business.
Jesus Christ.
Brandon! Wow.
That's
Yeah,
good.
I hope
we're doing
someone's
that.
name in here just Brandon, and we're
He's
just
got like a
shitting on
group
him.
chat with all his friends right now. Like, dude, my roommate's a
I don't
fucking
know.
weirdo.
He's on the group me like, what the fuck's going on?
Actually,
Dude, they're holding a fake funeral for a fake person right now. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, you just started like bellowing out some Latin shit.
some like weird seance shit going on in the background.
I think there's some cult. He's in some kind of cult with the music I'm hearing in the background.
Dude, he just pulled out a goat and started sacrificing it, man. What's wrong?
Goat! Goat!
No, Frank.
No goats for you.
Now that I've derailed.
I hope the goat was a virgin sacrifice. Fuck you, Fitz.
Aw, Fitz. Okay, Spartan.
Is there anyone else?
No.
Thank you, sister. I was actually addressing the rest of the group, but that's okay.
I think it's a no from everyone else. Actually, I don't know.
It's a no for me, Sarge. She
The
busts out.
sister has spoken.
Very well.
The sister has spoken.
Go with your heart, Nurse Lever.
God.
Very well. Then the body will be kept here for at least until tomorrow. If you wish to pay your respects in private, you may. The chanting stops, and the kind of like the chamber militants go back to their guard stance. And the Primarch steps off to the side and heads down towards the exit. I'll leave you guys. Sorry, that's Achilles talking. I'll leave you all to your own private thoughts. I'll see you tomorrow. And walks out. If there's nothing else that you guys wish to do, then there we go. Sorry about that. Then we will put a pause on it there tonight. I don't usually like to do player deaths and continuation of the story in the same session.
Can I get a rest in pepperonis in chat?
Let's give all of you 150 XP for tonight. And I will allow all of you to kind of plan your next movements about how you wish to approach either the continuation of the chapter or the conclusion. Depends upon how you guys decide. Yeah, that's where we'll put a pause on it for tonight.
We got to roll for that melee practice, but then again, services can take care of that.
Chat, a little bit shorter tonight, only because I don't like to do player deaths, and I don't like to do... Yes, 150. I don't like to do player deaths and session continuances in the same session. So, I will see you guys next week.
Bye,
Sorry,
chat.
you guys go ahead and say your goodbyes. I muted all of you.
Bye, stream.
Bye, chat.
See ya.
Bye, stream.
Bye, chat.